Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So we're Compas.
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on,
going
Gilbert.
here.
Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Daygo is at Moe's. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
welcome to Compas on the beat. Derwin James said it right there. I still love that intro. That's awesome that we got a new intro here on Compas on the beat. As you can tell, I'm here alone. We'll introduce Victor in a bit. We're going to go to Fernando in Costa Mesa. We're going to have Dan and Daygo. So that intro reminded me that we have a good time. We have a good party here on Compas on the beat with the whole crew. But I am by myself. I know, boo, boring, get Gilberto out of my screen. But you know what? Get excited. It's time for the 2024 NFL Draft. And I think Commissioner Roger Goodell he's about to come out to start the 15 minutes. Why take 15 minutes? Don't do it, Chicago Bears. Put in that card and put in Kalen Williams. And right now, how about Victor Corona, Victor producer, come in here and join us.
Here we go. What's going on, Gilbert?
Not
I
much,
have to mute.
sir.
I have myself on mute there.
It's okay. We have time to figure things out because, like I mentioned, the Chicago Bears are going to jump on or in 15, 20 minutes. But why? That's my first pet peeve. I complain all the time. And we should do like an over-under at what time the Chicago Bears put in that card for Caleb Williams.
Well, what do you got here, Gilbert? What do you think? How long is it going to take?
I'm going to say for sure 12 minutes. Hey, Eminem on the screen right now. How about that for Detroit? I like that. I know maybe Rams fans don't want to see Eminem or Detroit right now because of the heartbreaker in the postseason. But right now, shout out to Pedro, shout out to Jorge, shout out to Willie, shout out to Matokayo Gilbert there for joining the chat right now. And hopefully you guys have a nice beverage. It could be water, could be soda, could be a beer, could be a nice drink. I don't know. I don't care. Go ahead and have a good time. Vic, how are you feeling about this draft so far?
I'm feeling good. You know, I'm hoping that it doesn't take 10 minutes, but I think, oh, look, they're showing everybody, all the
Jared
former, you got Megatron up there. So that's pretty cool. I think that's one of the cool things about, the draft moving around. I still miss it being in New York. I think that's part of the reason why you're not seeing as many players, but it also gets to celebrate the city. You know, we've seen it in Vegas, we've seen it in Nashville, we've seen it in Kansas City and Dallas. So I think this is a great opportunity to kind of show off some of, not only your city, but also the former players that have come along through your history.
Yeah, I like it. And I'm pretty sure, Victor, that there hasn't been an NFL draft in LA, right? Not yet, I think. Not that I remember.
No, not yet.
There goes Dan and Daygo. But yeah, it'll be cool to get to the LA draft party. But it is cool to see Detroit. But bring back Dan and Daygo in that comment there because I'll give him a little promo. Coach Dan Ramirez in his new gear, maybe from a classroom, is going to join us later on to give the Chargers pick number 5. And let me know in the comments how you feel about this. But every mock draft in the last 40 hours that I've looked at, Victor, Alabama tackle J.C. Latham to the Chargers. If it's number 5, it's a little too rich for me. I'm not mad at going at a tackle because sometimes it's safe to go tackle. You want maulers, you want grinders, you want to build the trenches. But everything points to J.C. Latham. And then at number 19 for the Rams, it could be edge rusher, it could be defensive tackle, it could be wide receiver. They could maybe even trade up. And
that's what happened. Yep.
This show right here, we're going to try to cover the top 10 to 11 picks because the Vikings could make it interesting. And then we'll come back on for House of Horrors. But more promos. Dan's going to come on soon. We're going to have Fernando from Costa Mesa soon, so don't worry. But Victor, how are you feeling about that? I guess the smoke screen about J.C. Latham at number 5?
Yeah, the more I kind of get into it in terms of J.C. Latham, the more it kind of makes sense just of, Jim Harbaugh got to see him up close in the semifinal. Was it here at the Rose Bowl? I believe. I think it was here at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So
Alabama versus Michigan.
Yeah, so he got to see him up close. So he knows what he did to that Michigan. I mean, it was a close game. Alabama, was in control for most of that game. And then, Michigan came back and won that game with J.J. McCarthy. And so it'll be interesting. I maybe it is a little bit not much of a smokescreen, but actually a reality, just because of, they do need a right tackle. You don't want to go, and yes, I get it. You want to go and get Joe Alt here, but he plays left tackle. We've heard offensive linemen, and we can get into it. Well, with Dan and Daygo, in terms of how hard it is for an offensive lineman to move from left to right. Why not just get the guy who's there? But I get it. If you're the Chargers, you should probably trade back and get more picks if JC Latham is the guy.
Yeah, I don't like the whole notion that, like, well, Joe Alt plays left tackle and you already got a left tackle with Rashawn Slater. And I'm like, make people compete. Don't, just kind of just say, well, they play this position and the best of the best get the left tackle. And if not, then somebody has to learn playing right tackle. Get the best prospect overall. But that to me is going to be something we're going to look for right now. But Victor, I think the Bears are officially on the clock. There's down to 9:26 seconds right now. Let's get to some comments real quick before it's going to be Williams, and bring up the ones that you like and give people a shout out, because it is a draft year.
Well, let's start off with Pedro here. Ramirez, he says, "What up, compas?"
What's up, sir?
We got Jorge Rodriguez that's always checking in. He says Gilberto.
We can't do it when Dan and Dale comes on. He'll do
Gilberto.
It's the ending, I think, Victor. You gotta go.
Yeah, I know. You gotta put in that let it ride for a little bit. Willie Bowen says, "I pray that Latu is at 19 for the Rams." So we'll see. He's been moving up. I mean, maybe it's a small stream. We'll see. But
yeah, I keep seeing that either he goes down because of the medicals or up because he has the most upside. And then I saw, the guys on NFL Network saying, well, if you're so confused about Latu, maybe Chop Robinson moves up because he doesn't have the medical issue. So I know that's why he's a big name for people at House of Horns.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen, at House of Horns, we've seen a bunch of people, like today on our comments from our episode that we did last night, people are really wanting to trade up for Joel. We've heard the rumors today that the Rams are trying to trade up into the top 10. Maybe we get an LA trade there where the Rams move up to number 5. So
we should have made a banner for the Rams just in case to be ready.
Yeah, that is true.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to go on. Yeah, it says Jorge Rodriguez says, I didn't realize the intro has Gilberto showing his ass. So there you go.
No, that was not me. That was Rolly Romero, who suffered the Gilberto curse and lost his fight. But that's a different story.
Yeah, and then your Tocayo, he says, Gilbert Ruiz, he says, Rams house, let's get this done. So it's awesome to see everybody here involved. We got Daniel Calderon from House of Horns. He's like, let's go.
Sir.
Let's he's go, like, can't believe we have a first round pick. So
wow, this is my favorite Daniel because there's another Daniel on the show I don't really care for.
And then we got Coach Ramirez says the over under how many times Kuiper is wrong.
Oh man, and in terms of the predictions for the pick, it should be pretty high, Dan. So I like that one. That's a good over under.
Yep, I like that too. Pedro Ramirez is asking Malik Neighbors at 5 or trade back is what he's going to go with there as well. Yeah.
And real quick, Victor, before we keep going, I want to just run some things by you because I'm going to have you in charge of this. But how are we going to play out these picks? Because some people like to watch and not check on Twitter. Some people like to spoil it on Twitter. What are we going to do here? Because are we going to watch the broadcast? Because I'm on NFL Network right now. Or are we going to scout her through Twitter? Or how are we going to play this to announce some picks?
Well, somebody just asked us that. Why don't we? He said, you guys watch on, and then just to be synced up. So I'm on ABC. Just because it's the latest one, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. So I'll wait for people, and then we'll talk about it once. The way we'll do it, Gilbert, is because you're a little behind, we'll wait till you get it, and then that way, we know where we're at. That way it gives people a little bit of time. So
yeah, and I also I hate to be behind, but I don't want to trust Twitter, especially not nowadays with X. You don't know who to trust. There's a couple people that I will definitely trust with the pick, but I'm okay with taking our time here, having a good time, and going off the NFL Network thing here. But yeah, I don't mind, Victor. If you want to be the one in charge of it or me, whatever goes better, we'll make it work here. But I probably am a little behind. I'm definitely I'm at 5:41 seconds for the Bears.
There we go. Jorge was asking, what time do you guys on the Bears? I'm trying to see if my streams are behind as well.
I don't want to. That's the main thing. I'm trying to figure out not to spoil it, but maybe you guys go off of us. I don't know. But if maybe on the chat you guys want to break it in. We could have fun here. Somebody could be the breaking news insider, but
so
whatever.
I have it at 5:03 right now. So there,
okay. I'm at 5:19, so a little few seconds.
There we go. It's like 10
how
seconds.
about Victor? If you want, go ahead and just say the pick is in, and you go ahead and announce it if you want. So not a problem. We could take turns, so it doesn't matter to me. But I just want to make sure we're on the same.
Everybody's like, he's even Daniel. He's watching on ABC.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, so maybe should I move to ABC because I'm on NFL Network? But you know what? Let me just because I see two people.
Dan wants to know why we're not watching Pat, and the only reason I'm not watching Pat is because I want to get the picks in right away. But that's part of the things.
I think it's more Dan because I feel like they're gonna mess around a lot, like we will here, and it's like, all right, oh, there goes a pick by the way after Bill Belichick took a bong rip. I don't know, something weird is gonna happen with Bill Belichick and Pat McAfee.
And I know they're funnier too, but I also want the volume down so that way we can have a conversation here as well. So the pick is in, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The pick is in. So it's
all right. Whenever you see it, you go ahead and do it, especially the early ones. I don't care about those are kind of obvious. The first four, let's say that right now, Victor. Are the first four going to be automatically Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., and the draft starts with the Chargers? Or are you thinking maybe some mystery is going to happen in the top four?
I think it starts with the Chargers. I think that, I think Marvin Harrison goes forth to the Cardinals, and I think we'll see what happens. But the pick is in, but they are in the green room right now. And then you got Laura Rutledge.
Yeah, do we have any kind of like music? Whenever a player gets drafted and it goes to Daniel Jeremiah, and they do the breakdown analysis, like, but any type of music.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what we got here. We don't have any good music here, unfortunately. I'm trying to see what we can work with that. We can
play the sound whenever you make the pick.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. We'll use that to go. We'll be better prepared next year as we get. This is our first time doing this, so this is pretty cool just to go. Yeah, there you go. Jorge wants you to sing while we wait for this pick.
I don't know. It's like no, it's not good. I need some good like dun dun no 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 no. I can't figure it out. Whatever the sound you play for the countdown, I'm okay with that too. But
that's a good one too.
Well, might as well get it started with the Bears pick here. And if it is Caleb Williams, Victor, one thing I wrote about with Caleb Williams, like, yeah, you make the pick. It's an obvious pick, but the Bears better be damn sure that Caleb Williams is that guy. He's ready to play right now. He has the perfect surroundings because remember, they are technically one of two teams that passed on CJ Stroud, them and the Panthers. So Caleb Williams better be that guy. Do you think that pressure could get to
that? That is him. That is the pick.
There you go. Then I'll give you the analysis right now.
Caleb go Williams. Ahead. I'm gonna walk out for real quick. I gotta go do something. So I'll leave it up to you now,
all right.
Gilbert.
For some quick analysis from an expert, as you know, Caleb Williams won the Heisman Trophy 2 years ago. Caleb Williams started at Oklahoma, beat out Spencer Rattler, came over to USC with Lincoln Riley. It didn't win a lot. They couldn't beat Utah. Obviously, there was issues with the painting of the nails, crying to his mom. But on the field, Caleb Williams was a stud, could create away from the pocket, off-platform throws. When there's chaos around, he tends to thrive. My only issue with Caleb Williams, he does a little too much. And when you're a rookie in the NFL, work with Keenan Allen, work with DJ Moore, work with the running backs, work with the coaches. So maybe Caleb Williams, chill out for a bit. But whenever he gets going, he's going to be a magician, work away from the pocket, nice throws. And there were times he got behind, got down, and he played pretty well. So it's an easy pick, no-brainer. But for Caleb Williams, the only downside, he does a little too much. But that's the beauty about being a rookie and growing. The potential, the upside is limitless. What do you think, Vic?
Yeah, and I was just gonna ask you, Gilbert, because you and Fernando were at his pro day, and one of the things I heard a lot about was that the way he did that pro day was for him to stay in the pocket. He didn't do a lot of off-script stuff. He said that was on purpose. What did you see from that pro day that might translate to the NFL?
That does explain a lot. I was a little harsh on him because I'm like, it was kind of a boring pro day. Nothing, kind of out of this world. And I didn't knock the guy because he's going to be the first pick overall. Right now, he's hugging his mom and family members. Shout out to Caleb Williams. That's nice to see, hard work paying off. But I think it's good that people could see that he could do the simple stuff, the rhythm, the timing, working with a coach. Okay, what play do you see here? Let's just go off the first read. Boom, bam. Hit your receivers right away. let the playmakers help you out, especially as a rookie. And I think Caleb is a guy. Again, it's not a real knock, but when guys who could do a lot, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, those guys sat. Jordan Love, with all the intangibles and the skill set, he sat. So my concern with Caleb Williams, maybe it's like Peyton Manning, where he could do so much, but that rookie year was awful. What was it, like 30 interceptions? So
Yep.
I guess from your point of view, or that point that you brought, that makes sense. You want to see him do the simple stuff, chill out, cool it down, do first read, and play simple.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I think I understood everything that was going on, off the field. There was question marks with him painting his nails and him hugging his mom and crying, and I understood all those things. But on the field, the guy produced. I mean, I understand what last season he played under one of the worst offensive lines in college football as well, and so you have to take that into consideration. His defense was really bad as well. And
Yeah.
so I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, but I know what I saw 2 years ago and how good he can be. And, let's pump the brakes on the comparison with Patrick Mahomes. But I do like the fact that he is going to be set. I like what the Bears have done in terms of making sure that they have an offensive line. Now, if I'm the Bears at number 9, I try to get him even more, protection with the offensive line, because look, you have the receivers now, you have the tight end, you have everything around him, and I think that's what you need. We saw last season with Bryce Young, he didn't have that, and that's why he struggled. You saw it with CJ Stroud, he did have that, and he was able to thrive. So I think Caleb Williams is in what we saw from CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do at number 9 for the Bears here. And real quick, from what I'm noticing from the broadcast, Caleb Williams has one painted nail on the pinky, maybe to annoy people. And I like it when people are, they're mad about something. Embrace the heel, like Fernando likes to say. And those draft hats, I don't know if I like them, Victor. By the way,
No, they never
just
get
great.
them. Yeah, like the hats ever since Fanatics and all those other hats, New Era. I wish they give New Era more responsibility in terms of making their hats, because when New Era does it, they do it well. But when it's Fanatics, and like all these hats are terrible, even the ones for training camp. I mean, it's been there you go. It's Daniel Calderon. I don't know about Caleb. He is great, but man, he holds on to the ball long.
Yeah.
And part of it was because he had a bad offensive line, Gilbert.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, bad defense, just feeling like you want to do a little too much. So, that's the issue. That's why I feel like maybe it wouldn't hurt to sit, or like, what if they would have kept Justin Fields and let him compete? Like, that's okay with me. Like, maybe Justin Fields has a okay rookie year. I mean, sorry, an okay 4th year, and you build up his his trade profile. Then you bring in Caleb Williams. But people are so quick to kind of clear out the space. All right, he can't compete, or you can't have the cloud hanging over. So, maybe we're wrong here. Who saw CJ Stroud balling like that? Who saw Justin Herbert balling like that? So I get it. Sometimes you play right away and you do well. Sometimes you do and you don't. But it feels like he's just, just a little too much. But maybe he needed to, right, Victor, with the USC there. And I saw a comment from the Commanders before we get our Fernando on real quick. It's going to have to be Jaden Daniels, right?
Yeah, it is. And Jorge wants to know, what time do you guys on the Commanders? Right now, it says the pick is in, Jorge. So that's as far as, I don't know what time but the pick is in
all right,
as of right now.
It's going to be an obvious pick, and we'll ask Fernando right now. But Fernando, give me a thumbs up from the green room if you're ready to go, because we don't make you wait here. We don't make you wait in the green room. Okay, gave me the different finger. So go ahead.
What up?
Are you watching the Pat McAfee show and not me?
Bruh, I'll tell you one thing. You mentioned it. I wasn't going to say anything. Bill Belichick was eating that dude alive. The guy that they selected first overall, he was like,
Bill Belichick he was bashing Caleb Williams. Is that what you're saying?
No, not bashing. He's just
more like I have concerns.
Yeah, there's mistakes that he makes where you guys need to be on the lookout for. He does this, he does that. What I'm waiting for, the only reason why I'm watching is because I want to see what he says about the Patriots' 3rd overall pick.
That is,
and see what he has to say about remember Doug told us that. But by the way, somebody's very angry at you, Gilbert.
Is it Dan and Daygo?
No, it is Tyler Dragon.
Because
Tyler Dragon and I were sitting there joking around, laughing. I had some takes for him that he's like, "Whoa," and we we're just joking around. He's like, "I want you to sit here with me during the draft," and I was like, well, I got to go right now. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, Gilbert wants me to jump on a live. He's like, wow. He's like, he's going to take you away. And then I just started laughing.
Well, we won't take you too long. So when the Jaden Daniels picks come, after we get the Jaden Daniels pick, I will definitely ask you about the Chargers headquarters. But Victor, is it in already, the pick?
Yeah, it's in.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, they're announcing it now.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels.
All right, then I'm gonna put Fernando on the spot. What do you know about Jaden Daniels, Fernando? Give us a breakdown if you want. Okay, actually, you don't even like him that much. So let's hear.
No. I have concerns about the size. The size is kind of like what concerns me. And then there was too many plays where he would take off running and the ball would come out way too freely. So I think he, in a sense, is perfect for. In a sense, he's perfect for Cliff Kingsbury's offense. But at the same time, there are concerns there. I don't think, like I told you, and I know people are gonna like get on me. There was no slam dunk first pick overall to me. Like there was no Andrew Luck. Like I just think Caleb was the best one out of this group of quarterbacks, but there wasn't like a slam dunk first overall pick to me in that sense. But I mean, Caleb is now there, and like I told you guys, when I spoke to Keenan Allen at the USC Pro Day, he's like, "This kid's good." So I mean, if Keenan's saying that, I guess, but at the same time, I have questions about him. And then Jaden Daniels also, like, there's question marks about all these guys, but it's which coaching staff can kind of get around it and do better with these quarterbacks overall. Like Shane Waldron, that's my issue, I guess. Everybody was like, "Oh, this kid is like Patrick Mahomes." Yeah, but if you think about it, one source said there's 0 chance that the Patriots trade the number 3 overall pick. That was my thing about. That was my thing. There was one thing.
Where are you, Dan? Give us an update in the chat. Where are you currently?
I think he was picking up my mom.
Oh, okay. We'll be ready for number 5 pick. But Fernando, before I ask you about the headquarters there, going off for Jaden Daniels' analysis, I get why they made the pick because he does a lot more in terms of being a running quarterback. He could also extend plays, but like Cliff Kingsbury concerns me the most out of this. I know the Commanders have been.
I completely agree with that.
I could say crap show on the show here. You got new ownership. I like Dan Quinn as a coach. You did. I like the moves in the free agency. It wasn't a lot of home run hits, a lot of singles. I like that. But
then they have scary Terry McLaurin. He's good.
So it's fine. But Cliff had besides Lamar Jackson comparisons for Jaden Daniels, doesn't he compare to Kyler Murray? And Cliff already had that, and he screwed that up already. Like they're both guys that can move around. So I just don't trust that.
I think Kyler has a stronger arm, but I completely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I can see that too. But you had somebody who has a skill set, and it just didn't work out. But we'll see what happens.
We're in the league of Gilbert, if you think about green energy and all this stuff, it's the NFL. Nobody recycles more than the NFL when it comes to what they do. But, I mean, I get it. The thing is that Cliff Kingsbury is a little bit worrisome because where has he really succeeded? He couldn't even succeed when he had Patrick Mahomes. And let's be honest.
Caleb Williams got worse last year, I feel like.
Yeah, no, exactly. But Jorge, by the way, I just saw it. Happy draft miss. Yeah, happy draft miss to you as well and to everybody in the chat. But Drake made of the Patriots.
There you go.
But here's where we get interesting now. The 4th overall pick.
I still think it's Marvin Harrison Jr., but go ahead.
Oh, I do too. But just real quick, when Mahomes was coming out, you have to remember there was a lot of question marks about him. I didn't like his feet work. I thought Eric gave me a ride on his way to the Rams today. So we were talking about it in the car, and I'm like, look, I was like, his vision was a little questionable. There was times where he'd force things and say, you know what, I have an arm, I can fit it in there. And there's just times where there was a lot of questionable things that Mahomes did. Andy Reid sat him for a year and really got into there with them. And the thing is, let's be honest, Andy Reid has I don't want to say leash, but he has the ability to be able to do that because he's not fighting for his job every single year. Other coaches like the dude at the Bears right now, he's not going to have Eberflus. He's on the shortest leash probably behind Nick Sirianni and Sean McDermott. Like, if you don't win this year, you're gone. And once, like I told you, Gilbert, with Sirianni, once you fire everybody around you, there's no more place to look. It is you and it's on you. So that's kind of they're going pretty fast right now.
Yeah,
that's
kind
pretty
of
interesting.
shocked.
I think as
Yeah,
we
they
saw,
usually take forever.
my colleague spilled the beans
But
here. I saw Albert Bree on Drake May, but before we go to
no,
Drake
I
May,
saw somebody else.
Fernando, and I know you're busy, I want to ask you what's the feel out there in
No.
Costa Mesa? Does it feel like it's going to be JC Latham, or what are the beat reporters talking amongst each other?
No, I don't think it's JC Latham. I think that's just a smokescreen. I mean, if we really look at it and go into the history of Daniel Jeremiah making the picks, he's usually he's wrong, but I don't think he's wrong because he doesn't know. I think he knows, and he's the one that sends out the smokescreen. What a coincidence that he's the one that picks JC Latham at 5. All of a sudden, everybody's final mock drafts have JC Latham. So, and everybody thinks that he's really good friends with Daniel Jeremiah is good friends with Joe Ortiz, and he works for the Chargers organization. So everybody's like, oh crap, like he knows. No, that's not necessarily the thing. Like it's just the point of it's just the fact that obviously he happens to work for the team, but that's not the case at all. So I really think that I think they trade back unless Marvin Harrison Jr. is sitting there. I think they trade back. The only thing is that these guys are so unpredictable. Like that's the funny part is I've seen Chargers Twitter today and the pitchforks are up and people want a receiver. But the thing is, a wide receiver is a luxury when your offensive line still has a lot of holes. And I know all of a sudden, like it's so funny. Last year, Trey Pipkins wasn't good. And now all of a sudden this year he's good and he'd be good enough to start at right tackle. Which one is it? So I think and you know what? Jeff said it on our when I had him on What's Up Bold Dan and I. He said the way you've done business the last 60 years has not won you anything. Why are you going to complain? Like, where do you get off complaining? Like, this is something you guys want. Remember, Jim Harbaugh, everybody wanted him. Then he trades away Keenan Allen. Everybody's like, oh, what's going on? And then now everybody's like, oh, if it's not Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr., we don't want it. Like, just chill out. Like, we're barely in April 25th. Like,
people have their
favorites,
favorites,
relax.
and they hear, the draft season, and those are the two guys that people really like. But Victor, real quick, what do you think about the Drake May pick to the Patriots?
Besides, Puka Nacua came out in the 5th round. Sorry.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown 4th round.
And he just made over $100 million.
Yep. In terms of Drake May, I really like the selection here for them. I'm with you, Gilbert. You talked about Drake May the other day when I asked you about who was the guy that you liked in this draft, and you talked about Drake May and him. He has the size. He reminds me a lot of Justin Herbert. I think if you allow him to sit, then you have an opportunity to develop him. You have what is his name? Jacoby Brissett there. So let Jacoby Brissett start and then let Drake May, because the offensive line is terrible here too. You guys didn't talk about it, but with Washington, my biggest concern for Jaden Daniels is the fact that offensive line isn't great. They went out and spent in free agency, but they didn't upgrade that offensive line. I did like
I like the inside, but they do need tackles. I'll say that.
Yeah. So I would not be surprised if the Commanders trade back into the 1st round for some of those tackles. So keep an eye on the Commanders.
Maybe with the Patriots, so they need some work on the offensive line with tackles, like Doug said earlier.
Yeah, but I really do like this Drake May selection. I know everybody's down on him. They're like, his feet work doesn't. I'm like, look, you can correct. That's why you pay coaches. One of the things I like about Mike Tomlin is he says, look, if we bring him in, we're going to coach him up. That's your job, is to coach him up. That's part of the development. So let's
RIP Mike Tomlin's winning season record.
Yeah, you can't teach arm strength. And
That's another thing that got Tyler Dragon laughing his ass off, because I was like, unfortunately, Russell Wilson's gonna. If I'm Mike Tomlin and that happens, I would play future in the. Well, never mind.
All right, Fernando, you saw the Adam Schefter tweet there. They're not going to trade. It has to be Marvin Harrison Jr. It has to be.
Dude, if it's not, I'm like, this is going to be funny.
They have 353 remaining, so unless you guys know already who the pick is.
No, I haven't seen anything yet. But yeah, basically everybody's sense is that it's going to be a tackle. I'd be very surprised if it's not. I think they trade back, though. I keep on telling people, and I was on a show. By the way, Oh, I can't say the word right now. I can't. No, I can't say. I was on a show. And I was talking about like how things ended with Staley and the players and everything. And no. Oh, I'm doing it again.
The pick is in.
It's Marvin Harrison Jr.
There you go. An easy 4 picks.
No. Aminosity.
No. Wait, you're talking? No. Did you say a name or a word?
A word.
No, word.
No.
Aminosity. Oh my god.
No.
Animosity.
Animosity. There you go.
Now
you got me confused. Animosity.
I couldn't say it, and then the guy's like, "Oh, you can't say it because like you don't want to throw people." No, I was like, I just can't.
That's what I thought. I was like, well, okay, don't do it. You don't have to. Then you're like,
Chargers are on the clock.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Can you stick around, or are you leaving for now?
Yeah, I'll stick around.
All right, when they make the pick, we'll get your analysis, and eventually we'll get your brother on. But
So
damn, it's actually going kind of quick.
Yeah, if someone trades in here, Fernando, who is it then? Who do they trade with?
Shoot. I almost put on the cock. My bad. Oh, sorry.
We're live here too. But
we are live.
Yeah, my bad.
On the rooster. Okay, nice.
Yeah, on the peacock.
Or that. Man, it's interesting. This is where the draft starts right here.
There we go. I told you, Gilbert. I think it starts with the Chargers. We'll see what they do. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, you just can't pass on Marvin Harrison Jr.
First pick in the Jim Harbaugh era. Let's see how Chargers.
Did you see that supposedly Irving Magic Johnson was the one that was pushing for Bill Belichick to be hired by the Commanders? That's why I wanted Sam on, but Sam big time does.
Maybe Robert Kraft said, no, don't get on Magic, don't do it.
Jack Jones just tweeted out, I know that look. He ain't want to go there.
Ooh.
Who's he talking about?
Oh, he's talking about Jaden Daniels.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do, man? Like, I thought about it. Like, you can't go to the Raiders and fall to 13. You're going to be a number 2 pick. You can't lose that millions of dollars, man. It was just too tough. I get the dream, though. Yeah. But real quick, guys, last, if it is the Chargers, who's gonna be the pick?
Give us who you're picking here. Like, who do you guys want here? Like, put it in the comments.
You know what? I'm gonna go Malik Neighbors at number 5 right now. If they stay, why not? What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go with Roma Dunze.
Fernando, you want to tackle?
I think they're gonna trade back.
We'll see. They're still on the clock though.
I'm really interested now.
They got about 10 minutes to figure this out here. So I definitely
we need to trade up for Joe Alt.
Is Jesse Rams fan? Sorry, go ahead.
There you go. You got it.
We need to trade Joe Alt.
Yep.
Be a wide receiver. And I think Nick is a Chargers fan. But man, there's a lot of mystery.
My bad.
I'm really interested in seeing this.
This is where the draft starts.
Yep.
Man, it could. I don't know. I'm not buying the J.C. Latham at number 5. I'm with you guys.
Do you buy? I don't either. Do you buy the Brandon Ayuk to the Patriots by Tom Curran of NBC Sports?
Wait, is that like a real?
He's supposedly. He's saying Patriots are
sniffing around, or they made the deal.
Patriots are working on a potential trade for Brandon Ayuk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's going to be
Tom
Debo.
Curran say.
And wasn't that the guy they were supposed to draft or something, and they passed on him? If I'm not mistaken, I might be.
Interesting nugget from Bill Belichick on the McAfee broadcast after the Patriots pick. Drake compares himself a lot to Josh Allen. We'll see about that.
Okay.
Bill Belichick, you are amazing.
There is 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go on the Chargers pick.
All right. If it goes under 5 minutes, we're keeping that damn pick.
This is really interesting.
Look at Monty 2004, happy about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
All right, Kyler Murray going to be a top 10 quarterback now because Tyler Dragon already thinks he is.
No.
He has a stud wide receiver. I guess nobody thinks he's going to be a top 10 quarterback.
My bad. No. I'm like,
he's concentrating here. You want to go out? You want to be on the big box here?
Oh yeah. Put him on the. Look at this.
Oh, okay.
Is that a Joe Ortiz looking at the camera?
Yeah, I think that's him.
I think so. I saw him right now when I was walking in. Gilbert, by the way, he did.
He's like, Jim, what are we doing here?
We're not gonna spoil the pick. Well, there's 5:20 to go. Nick.
Hopefully, there's no Twitter notifications. Let's just see what happens on the broadcast. And
are you serious? So I can't say anything?
You already saw?
No.
Oh, okay.
If it's not coming up on my phone, I don't trust the source. I'll leave it at
send
that.
it on the private chat if you can.
Yeah, if it's not Schefter or Ian, I'm not. I'm gonna play it safe.
Because the pick is not in. We're under
remember a couple of years ago when we were in what was it 2021 in the draft, or was it 2020? Yeah, it was 2020. Remember somebody had tweeted out that it was gonna be that the Justin Fields was going to the Broncos, and then all of a sudden
and they got it wrong.
Yeah, it was Patrick Surtain that they drafted.
Nick wants us to spoil it, so I think they just can't wait.
Oh wow!
But I don't even. I think it might go down to the wire. And sometimes when it goes to like 0, they do make trades. So maybe I should.
Since we have 4 minutes to go, do you guys want to get into the AJ Brown news?
I was surprised about that. Yeah, why not? While we're trying to wait here, but AJ Brown had a bunch of issues with the Eagles. They got to pay Devontae Smith too. I wonder what that means for Devontae Smith. But hey, he's a good player. I know he's kind of a little bit of a headache, but Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, they do have a good connection. And not, after Amon-Ra St. Brown reset the wide receiver market, expect a lot more money for wide receivers, and Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb eventually will be the top 1 and 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, and think about this, guys. I mean, the guys that we thought were, the highest paid players in terms of receivers, like Devontae Adams and some of those guys, now they're underpaid. So, I mean, it's crazy how the wide receiver market has changed in just a couple years. I mean, now you have AJ Brown Amon-Ra St. Brown getting paid, and I think it's just going to continue. Who do you think is the next guy to get paid, Gilbert?
I keep thinking it's gonna be Jefferson, or maybe Brandon Ayuk. He gets traded to the Patriots, make that contract, and everybody's happy right away.
Sense.
It's got to be a sign trade.
And that's the crazy part, is that everybody just keeps on one-upping, and they're keeping the pick.
Okay, here we go. That Rappaport saying, which obviously, Giants could get JJ McCarthy paying off apparently.
Yeah. I don't think they go McCarthy. I think you got to go.
I say they do it. Daniel Jones is not the guy. You got to move on. But that's what I feel they should do. But you never know what the team feels.
It's just we'll see. I mean, I just don't think he fits the offense. But who knows? I mean, is Brian Daboll going to be there to coach JJ McCarthy?
We saw Brian Daboll and how frustrated he got last year. Like all those blown games that they had early and before he got hurt. Joe Shane didn't draft Daniel Jones. They paid the guy and he crapped the bed. Maybe you make JJ McCarthy wait for a year while Daniel Jones has a contract run out.
We're under 2 minutes and 30
It's not going to be JC Late, though. I'm going to say it right now. Why not?
We're under 2:30 now. It's getting close.
Man.
Hopefully they don't.
Are you just like searching Twitter, Fernando, because you want to know already? Or like, what are you doing on your phone?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, oh,
everybody's on pins and needles right now. I'm sure with Charger.
Type in the chat right now. They're gonna keep the pick. Who's gonna be? People, come on. I know.
Can people stop texting?
We got 400 people watching.
That's the other thing. You got people texting you as well. Here we go. Man. This is where the wait for Harbaugh.
Part of me kind of wants to see JC Latham just for the chaos. I don't know. It's like the Joker.
Guy, you're about to get us freaking kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah,
that's like a freaking, what's it called? Like, I don't know.
It's chaos,
dude,
man.
Like this. Every other thing has been like quick, and this one's like the one where we're waiting forever.
All right, while we wait, let me give you guys a good stat here. The last 10 years, 40 wide receivers have been taken in the first round. Average production as rookies, 50 catches for 671 yards.
I hate Jeremy Fowler.
9 of the 40 have produced 1,000 yards as rookies. 9 of the 40. Is it in?
Just from the spoiler that I saw.
Yeah, the pick is in, guys.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I already saw it. Should I do it or do I wait?
Who had
Send it on the private chat. I don't want to spoil it for people.
Who had it?
Either Ian or Albert Breer. Somebody on my notification.
Give me the name because I gotta do the banner.
I got it for you. Let's just do it right now. Can I do it?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. The Los Angeles Chargers at number 5 take Notre Dame tackle, the big boy Joe. Oh, I love this pick right here.
There we go.
Fernando, while you're tweeting, I will give some analysis right here. Like I mentioned earlier, who cares about position? Who cares about left tackle? Get the best players available, and who's the best offensive tackle in this draft? Joe freaking Alt. Fernando covered him for a cup of coffee in South Bend, and make them earn it. Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt. Somebody's got to play right tackle. Who cares? It's a good problem to have. We saw Tristan Wirfs do it. We saw Penei Sewell do it. Left, right, whatever.
Have they done it on TV yet or no?
Not yet. But
not yet. The pick is
I'm
in.
sorry. Let us know in the
They're all
comments.
happy in the war room. You see Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh, they just hugged and they're really happy about
Do you
this
want me to
pick.
say who said it then to kind of give you my, unless I got fooled by one of those picks? No, Albert Breer. Albert Breer. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Have they gone on? Okay.
Freaking X be giving me notifications of fake crap that I don't want, but I saw Albert Breer, so we're good.
I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right.
I appreciate it. And tell your brother to come on whenever.
All right, bye.
Thank you. There you go, Victor. How do you feel about Joe? I love it.
I love this. Like this, and as you talked about, I want to get Dan's reaction to this because I want to know how hard it is to move. And who do you move? Do you move Joe Alt to right tackle, or is it the incumbent there who's there already? So
let him earn it. Rashawn Slater got an All-Pro as a rookie, but he got hurt second year. It was a bad, crappy situation in his third year. He's got to earn that rookie year status. So I said go fight it out in camp. And how about setting the tone when you're Jim Harbaugh? We're going with the trenches. We're going to get beefy, but we don't care what you did before I got here. Go and freaking earn it. I love that.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be good competition. And the guy who doesn't, whether is Rashawn Slater or it's Joe Alt, one of them's going to kick to the right side, and now you have two bookend tackles, along with who is Herbert going to throw now to? There, one of the things I'll tell you this is that this is a really good wide receiver draft, and I believe it was Eric Williams who told us, Gilbert, well, he told you guys that look where you got some of your best receivers in Chargers history. You talk about Keenan Allen in the third round. You have other guys who have flourished in the middle rounds for the Chargers. So you have good wide receivers that you can choose in the second and third round here if you're the Chargers.
Exactly. That it's a new way to do it. And obviously, we tend to compare Jim Harbaugh with what the Ravens do with John Harbaugh, and they haven't gotten wide receiver right with the Baltimore Ravens. He's probably seeing, well, they always have a good defense, they always have a good rushing attack, they always have a good offensive line, they have a good quarterback. It's okay to kind of make wide receiver a little secondary. We get it. Like we see it right now, Victor. Like if you hit on a wide receiver, you have to pay the guy. It's a good problem to have, but like people don't want to pay right now for wide receiver. So just keep recycling and going back into the rookie, first, second, 3-year guys, and you move on. Or just draft guys in the second round. We see it with the Packers. We see it all the time. So, yeah, it's a good problem to have. Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, but you're going to be tough up there, and it's going to be hard to stop Justin Herbert. And I want to say that I think people are criticizing too hard Joshua Palmer, who I think is a good number 3. Maybe has upside to be a number 2. Quentin Johnson, it was one bad year. And like we heard Tyler Dragon say, or maybe Eric Williams say, they were using him wrong. Maybe Jim Harbaugh could figure out how to play him better and not be the X receiver. Eventually, you got to find that X receiver, but it could happen in this draft, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and think about this too. They're going to be a running team. We've seen with Greg Norman. Is that his name? No. What is the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah,
or Greg Norman.
Was it Bill Roman? No, Greg
Roman, because I keep thinking about Norman. But the offensive line, the offensive coordinator, we know that he likes to run heavy personnel, and so you're not gonna need 3 receivers to be really good, and now you can draft one as well. So I really like this for the Chargers. I like what they're doing. You start up with the trenches. You saw Jim Harbaugh. You've seen it with the 49ers. You've seen it at Michigan. You've even seen it at Stanford. He prioritized the offensive line, and then he builds from in to out. So it bodes well for his teams. And we've seen him how he constructs teams, and it usually pans out for him.
Yeah, real quick, Victor. So I guess the guy who's spoiling it for me, I won't say it right now, is Albert Breer. He's on it right now. So
okay,
I see the Giants pick, and I'll write it in right now. But
yeah,
I'll give a few more minutes before I reveal. But what do you think is going to happen? Because I already know for the Giants.
Oh, for the Giants, I still think it's a receiver. I think they need receiving here. I just don't think you take a chance here on a quarterback. I get it. You don't know if you're going to be in this position again. But last time you had the number 6 pick, if I'm not mistaken, Gilbert, you chose Daniel Jones out of Duke.
Yeah, you're right.
And so you're in the same position, and you're going to take JJ McCarthy, who you don't have a lot of film. Like people say he's a winner. Yeah, that's great and all, but you still don't know there. You don't know if he's able to make the throws. It's like, well, he wasn't asked to do that at Michigan, so we'll find out if he's the pick there. But I think you go either Roma Dunce or Malik Neighbors, any of those receivers. I would go here.
I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler. It won't be JJ McCarthy. I thought it would be because Daniel Jones hasn't been the answer, but it will be a wide receiver, and they're going to give Daniel Jones an opportunity because that says a lot right there. You're passing on JJ McCarthy. You know Daniel Jones has 1 year left of guaranteed money on his contract because they have an out after this year, and you're probably saying, you know what? Well, he hasn't gotten a fair shake. He hasn't got a number one wide receiver. They try to like we keep talking about like you get a wide receiver in the back end or second, third, fourth round, whatever it is for the Giants, it just hasn't worked out for them. They can't hit the second, third round pick. They can't hit the free agency. They can't. They go get Darren Waller. That didn't work out. He got divorced, so it's pretty bad for Darren Waller. You go spend money free agency. You just haven't gotten him a guy. So maybe the Giants are saying, "F it. Let's just kind of use a premium pick, a top 6 pick on a wide receiver, and let's see what Daniel Jones has because they have him on the contract 1 more year." I know JJ McCarthy is not my favorite prospect, but I'm just ready to move on for Daniel Jones. But I guess Brian Dable and Joe Shane were not.
And I know I know that that who it is, but I don't. But I would say for me, I think Roma Dunce makes the most sense here than Malik Neighbors, just because Malik Neighbors is more of a slot guy. But we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see which way they went. You know this already, but in terms of what I would have done here, I would have gone with Roma Dunce.
Yeah, because this guy's already at the podium, so I might as well do it.
Yeah,
New York Giants select Malik
Malik
Neighbors,
Neighbors.
LSU. I like it. People say he has a lot of upside. He's a burner. I saw comparisons. I think somebody told Albert Breer, my colleague, that he has Tyreek Hill potential. So, hey, Daniel Jones has a strong arm. He knows how to create plays away from the pocket because he's mobile. Just say YOLO sometimes. Maybe Malik Neighbors will be down there. He has the speed. He has reliable hands. I've even seen comparisons with Jamar Chase, comparisons to Odell Beckham, LSU connection right there. So, if you're going all in with Daniel Jones for at least 1 more year, I like the pick. I like the prospect overall.
Yeah, the thing about him is that he separates. That's the thing. That's the difference between what I've heard from between him and Marvin Harrison and Roma Dunce. The thing with Roma Dunce is he's more of a guy that's going to get you one of those, throw it up and he'll go and catch it. With Malik Neighbors is he has separation. So like as you talked about, he's Tyreek Hill like because if you get him the ball, but that's the thing, you need someone with a quick, somebody that can get the ball out quick to him, and you let him do the rest. And so we'll see if that's the case. But he's Daniel Calderon agrees. He kind of looks like OBJ as well. So
yeah, he got the chain, he got the grill, and it kind of rivaling what Sauce Gardner had a few years ago. So I like it. And I actually like the stories that I read about. Here comes another one. Okay, not yet, not a spoiler yet from Albert Breer, but I like that Malik Neighbors is competitive. And when I saw him at the combine talking to reporters saying, I'm the best wide receiver in this draft class, and supposedly behind closed doors, he was telling people, hey, Marvin Harrison Jr. did not work out his pro day. I'm going to work out. I'm going to put on a show. And he ran the 40-yard dash multiple times to prove I'm blazing fast. I'm under 4.4 speed. So I like the competitive. He works hard. I guess the knock on Malik Neighbors from, just reading from Albert Breer wrote, a little bit of a handful, a little bit of a diva. Obviously, he's going to demand for the football, but we know how wide receivers are. I just like the competitive fire and wanting to prove that he's the best.
What's funny is that I was watching an interview with Marvin Harrison and his son Marvin Harrison Jr. and they asked the dad. They're like, what is one thing that you wish your son did better than you did? And he's like, I wish he would demand the ball more. And they went and they asked Marvin Harrison Jr. He's like, have you started demanding the ball more? And he's like, nope. So I thought that was
he's still the son of Marvin Harrison Sr. who never spoke a word, or at least on the field. When you don't mess with the guy off the field,
right?
But on the field he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and I thought that was one of the things. I remember him coming out of Syracuse, and I was like, really, you're gonna go with an undersized wide receiver? Hey, I was wrong about that because he proved that. I mean, and maybe it was because he had Peyton Manning for all those years, and we'll see. He ended up in the Hall of Fame, but I'm sure his son, if he stays healthy and is able to work things out with the Cardinals there, and he has someone, we'll see how long he's got Kyler Murray there. But in terms of getting back to the Giants here, they needed a receiver, Gilbert, because they've needed a receiver since they had OBJ. They haven't had one like him since then.
All right, Vic. For the JJ McCarthy, I guess watch. He's the guy slipping. My colleague Connor always say he's not slipping. He got
Yep.
mock draft too high, which I definitely agree with that. You think it's gonna be the Vikings who didn't have to trade up number 11?
You know what? That was one of the things I heard today was, kind of listening to people, experts and people who were like, the people who are pumping up JJ McCarthy are the public. It's, the media. It's not people, in the league. People in the league are not the ones saying that he's going to be picked in the top 10. And we'll see. I mean, part of it was his former head coach who said he was the number one quarterback for him. You had other people talking about him as though, he was going to be the fourth quarterback selected, and he could still be. It's hard to move up, for a guy that you don't know a lot about. Yeah, he's a winner, but I can go back in history, Gilbert. I can tell you when I first started watching football, one of the guys that stood out for me was Danny Werfel. That he won a national championship with Florida, and I was like, why is he's a Heisman Trophy winner? Why is he not getting picked, in the first round? Because he had a noodle arm, like he couldn't throw the ball. And so that just tells you that just because you are a winner in college, it doesn't mean you're going to translate to the NFL.
All right, Vic. Again, my colleague is spoiling my draft party watch because he's on my notification. I trust the source. So, what do the Tennessee Titans do here for you?
I think they go offensive line. We've seen what they've done, in the offseason so far in free agency. They went out and got receivers for Will Levis. The as Fernando calls him, the mayonnaise, in his coffee guy. But I think that you need to help them out. They have a big hole at left tackle. Tyler Lewan is not walking through that door. He's retired now. He's doing busting with the boys now. So I want to see them get a left tackle here. It's either I'm gonna take a guess is that it's one of the either Washington or the Penn State left tackle.
Well, it's saying the pick is in, but I'm not going to spoil it just yet. But you are correct. As a position, it's going to be tackle, and everybody had Joe Alt going to the Tennessee Titans. So
Yep.
people were right about the position there, and people were right about maybe the Chargers going offensive tackle. They're the ones that took Joe Alt. The whole J.C. Latham thing. I was like, I don't know. It just seems like everybody's picking that, and everybody's going with that. But I'm not surprised with Jim Harbaugh going with offensive tackle. Eventually, Dan and Day is going to join us, hopefully, to talk about it. But the Tennessee Titans, they do need a tackle. They got Peters last year in the top 12 or 14. He was back and forth between tackle or guard. They made him a guard. It turns out that they like him at guard. So you keep building the trenches, and I think they found themselves a left tackle. Have you seen it on your screen just yet, Victor?
Yeah, I know who it is. But in terms of just so we kind of keep this conversation going, Gilbert, how many offensive linemen do you think get taken in the first round, as we proceed? Because now, as of now, we have two. So do we get 10 maybe? Because everybody's yes.
Man, I don't know about 10, but obviously it's gonna be about, I'll say like 7. Obviously, it's you need Fashano, you need Fuaga, you need Futano, you need Latham, just to say that. But yeah, let's get with the pick. But I'm gonna go with 7. 10 seems like a lot to me. And Tennessee Titans select J.C. Latham, possibly to be their left tackle, maybe right tackle. We'll see what happens there. But to go with Skoronski, you need to help out Will Levis. Will Levis is kind of a two-way threat, passer, also mobile. You got to keep him upright. You got to keep him healthy. I like it, but also with all the smoke screen about J.C. Latham going to the Chargers, he's still a top 7 pick. I'm a little surprised about that, Victor. So that means a lot of people like him. I think I was reading that he is probably the best run blocker in this draft. So he's a mauler. He's a physical player. You want that on your team. Tennessee Titans don't have Derrick Henry, but they're still going to be the same physical team. I feel like they just seem to be that type of franchise. So J.C. Latham to the Titans, what do you feel like?
Well, the problem with that, Gilbert, is the fact that they brought in Tony Pollard, who couldn't do anything with the Cowboys. And so it'll be interesting to see if he can run between the tackles, because one of the things that he was really good at when he, 2 years ago, when, they still had, why am I blanking on his name? The running back that went to the Eagles. Went to the Patriots and now Ezekiel Elliott.
Who might go back to Dallas.
Yeah, and who might go back exactly now. But one of the things was that Tony Pollard could run outside, and he was really good at that. And now we're seeing that, with him going to Tennessee, they also have Tajay Spears there, who I really like. In terms of fantasy, before they signed Tony Pollard, I was like, if I'm drafting in the first or second round of fantasy, I'm trying to get Tajay Spears. But now with Tony Pollard there, I think it kind of changes things. But
I feel like, just to kind of go off, I feel like Pollard has to prove himself. I really liked him, and last year he totally let me down. But I like Tajay Spears too.
Especially when the Cowboys, they have a good offensive line, and for you not to be able to produce, I think that was a big surprise in terms of, like, they gave you the keys to the car there. They said, hey, we gave, they franchised him. They, once he didn't produce, they were like, you know what, we're just gonna move on. We'll draft a running back, and we'll bring, we'll take our chances with a running back in the draft.
Yeah, and Tennessee is interesting because they also, like you mentioned, they got Pollard, they got Calvin Ridley. They actually signed the top center on the market, and Lloyd Cushenberry, Skoronski, J.C. Latham. They're trying to do this kind of the old school, rugged way. I like Will Levis. I don't know how you feel about Will Levis, but I think he has potential to at least seek it through. Like, okay, what do you got here? Give us another year. So overall, I do like that. They still have D-Hop too. So two very friendly wide receiver targets with catch radiuses are pretty sizable for Will Levis.
Yeah, and I do like Will Levis. I mean, he's probably the same, like talking about JJ McCarthy. Remember, Will Levis was supposed to be a top 10 pick last year, and then he just fell, and one of the guys that we talked about, that JJ McCarthy could be that guy that who ends up falling. And we're seeing why. And Will Levis, I think he had a lot to prove, getting drafted in the second round, being in the green room for that long. And one of the things about him, he's jacked, man. Like, he's one of those dudes that he can take the hitting. He's not as big as Josh Allen, but I like the fact that they're prioritizing the offensive line here, because he can sling it. I mean, we saw it on that Thursday night game. He went out and he balled out. That game against Miami where they pulled off the upset, he was really good. And so and then we have our guy joining us, so we have somebody in the
real quick. The Atlanta Falcons gave us the biggest surprise so far of the NFL draft. We'll get to the pick eventually. I started seeing the rumors swirl this today, and I was like, no way they're gonna do this. Well, they did it, and we'll get to that in a bit. But right now, bring in our guy, Daygo. Give me the right middle finger if you're ready to go.
There we go.
Oh, I'm always ready. I'm always ready.
I asked your brother, "Are you ready?" He gave me the finger, so I don't know if you.
No, I said, "Are you ready?"
What are you eating there?
Protein bar. You see this?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, no free promotions here, but
I was gonna say you didn't have dinner, huh?
No. I'm telling you, bro. Got out at 5 from the meeting, and I went to go pick up my mom, so that's why I was a little late. Traffic, bro. That's that south traffic. It's a bitch.
Do you know the pick?
Yeah, I do.
No, well, at least I was asking the Dan.
I was live streaming I was live streaming you guys, obviously, but I'm not like, I understand people. Well, I haven't even checked, obviously, but I gotten a lot of texts. I'm not worried about it. I think this situation reminds me of the Keenan Allen thing where, everybody was losing their minds over Keenan Allen, but it's like, we don't know what the behind the scenes conversations were. You know what I'm saying? So clearly some conversations were probably held in the back in the sense of either, maybe Rashawn switches to right, Joe switches to right, or they've got something figured out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if anyone deserves the benefit of the doubt in that building, it's Jim Harbaugh. So like I said, I'm not worried about it at all. I was
going to say, you're going to love this pick regardless, because it's a tackle at the end of the day.
Yeah, because what's been the biggest problem since they've drafted Justin Herbert? They haven't been able to protect him. They haven't been able to run the football. I don't know why anyone's surprised when, if you look at Jim Harbaugh's offense in Michigan, they were running the ball probably, I would say 60, 70% of the time. Yeah. You barely even knew a quarterback was there when he would have to throw. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I can't wait to see him at training camp if I'm able to make a few practices. He's going to learn from the best, and or he's going to get to practice with the best with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa if Bosa
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. Oh yeah,
it.
but I'm fired up. I love getting the trenches going.
Say, you don't seem like you're too fired up, but Dan, save the fire upness or whatever. Is that a word? Because I'm gonna give you the pick right now for number 8, and then we're gonna go back to Joe Alt. But I want to hear your guys' take for this one, and I'm surprised, and I think the pick is in already, so I'm gonna say it. At number 8, the Atlanta Falcons are gonna take a quarterback. They just got Kirk Cousins. They don't care. Michael Penix Jr. from Washington going to be the quarterback. They're gonna make him the guy who waits a couple years. He's like 27 already. He's gonna be in his 30s by the time he's ready to go. This is an older quarterback.
You remember when like Brandon Weeden when he came out at 30, he was 30-year-old
Oklahoma State. Yep.
Okay, I don't know if I like this pick. I like Michael Penix Jr. in terms of like he seems a guy who's ready to go right now. I don't know about his upside. I don't know about being a first round pick, but obviously the Falcons like it. And I heard the broadcast, on the NFL Network saying, hey, Arthur Blank, he wants to have a quarterback waiting in the wing. He sees what the Packers did. He sees what the Chiefs did. I don't know if they got the right guy to wait on, but that's just me.
Well, why not trade back? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, I think they had the right idea. Like you said, I think getting a guy who's 30, not really.
I think it's like 26, 25.
Yeah, but
I'm being a little harsh, but yeah.
Oh, is he 25? I'll look up his age right now. But I understand what you're saying. You sit 2 years, you're basically 30.
Yeah.
But I guess
and then you lose 2 years of your rookie contract too by waiting for Kirk Cousins.
That's another thing. But I think also maybe they're thinking, quarterbacks play until maybe it's like the Tom Brady thing. Tom Brady played until he was 41 or whatever it was. And maybe they're like, well, if he plays that long and develops to be that good. Oh shit, I put all right, I'll do it in a second. I can't multitask clearly, but maybe they're thinking if he plays till he's in his 40s, like Brady did, it'll be worth it. But
he's had injury concerns though. He got hurt in Indiana.
That's the other thing.
He revived his career at Washington too. I don't know.
But what other quarterbacks have been taken? We saw the Crier was taken one.
I didn't even think about that. He went ahead of JJ McCarthy too.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh will not be happy about that. He said his boy is top 5 or
he's
what
the
was
best
it?
Quarterback in the class apparently. That's what he said.
Yeah. How old is this fool? I'll tell you right now.
I am surprised about this, and maybe they're worried about Kirk Cousins.
He's 23. What are you talking about? He's 23. He'll be fine.
Whatever. He's a 5th-year senior. I don't like 5th-year seniors.
You made me think he was really 27. I was about to say, what are we doing?
Maybe I'm confusing him with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is the older one, I think.
Oh, maybe.
Well, he played with Justin Herbert. He played against Justin Herbert.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he does look older too, or he just gets a lot of sun.
I don't know. Maybe they feel like Kirk Cousins has a couple years. Also, they might have seen.
No, he's 24. Oh, next.
Oh, 24. Okay. All right. Okay, 24. Kirk Cousins has been a guy who you like a lot, but he's just like, you got to give me more. And maybe the Falcons are going to say, you know what? We'll do a 2-year experiment with this guy who never actually seems to go to the finish line. So in that sense, I like
him that much money too. Like that's just.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Here's my take on that. In that sense, I said from the beginning in the offseason, you can check the tape. Whoever signs Kirk Cousins is not serious about winning. Then on top of that, they pass on the GOAT, my boy Bill Belichick. They're not serious about winning, dude. They'll, like we said, we've mentioned on this program before, the NFC South is almost a joke. They'll maybe make a playoff in a wild card, maybe host a game, and that'll be it. They're not going to an NFC Championship. They're not going to a Super Bowl or anything like that anytime soon. Like that was my thing right there. Like, I agree with the move, but I mean, if this guy's injury prone and everything else, and like I understand, I think when they talk about trying to pump, I don't think JJ will go in the first round. To be honest, like
really,
I don't.
That would be an epic slide if that occurs.
I don't see it because this is my thing, right? Like if I was trying to pick one of these guys, the offense JJ was in was all you have to do is exist between the 5 seconds you snap the ball and when you hand it off to Booby, and that's basically it. You rarely saw him really throw. I mean, everybody was all hot and bothered over his pro day, but I mean, these guys are in shorts on air. Like, give me a football. I'll look pretty damn good. I got my 7-on-7 tape film. I look pretty damn good on 7-on-7, and I had some coverage, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that wouldn't be enough for me, especially to, leverage the future of my franchise there.
Yeah, but going off the Michael Penix pick, I think a lot of people in the chat in terms of being supporters of the Rams are probably a little surprised because a lot of people, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people had the Rams taking like a Michael Penix Jr. or taking a Bo Nix, and now it's like, well, one's already taken. I guess that the whole rumor of finding a backup for or our succession plan for Matthew Stafford didn't occur.
Speaking of which, what the hell happened to Stetson Bennett? Is he still
back.
alive?
Yeah. He's back, but he wasn't around for his rookie year, and he's the one who's 30 years old. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's true. Yeah. Well, that's why I don't like this. That's part of the reason
pick
why.
is in, by the way, for the Bears.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna do something irrelevant probably too.
I already got this.
That's why I'm not a huge fan. Yeah.
These guys became buddies. I guess they were on the same plane together. Maybe it was planned. Who the hell knows? But the Chicago Bears are loading up at wide receivers to select Rome Odunze, the college teammate of Michael Penix Jr. Now you got Keenan Allen, you got DJ Moore, you got Rome Odunze and Cole Kmet, you got DeAndre Swift to go with Caleb Williams. That's a nice situation right there. So Rome Odunze is starting to become one of my favorite players in the draft because of what I heard from Tyler say, what I heard Eric Williams say, what I heard from Daniel Jeremiah. Like he has some kind of like I feel like his floor is Keenan Allen, his upside, his ceiling is Larry Fitzgerald. That's a pretty good place to be. So to me, I like the pick here. What do you feel like, Vic?
I like it too. Like he's been one of my guys that how we all have certain guys you see. I'm not an expert, but in terms of guys that you see and how they not only how they are in terms of the person when they're being interviewed, but also just watching some of their games. Like I got to watch that game against Texas and just said, like I don't watch a lot of college football during the season. But watching that game, he really stood out. The way he goes and gets the ball. Actually, for me, the better comparison that I've seen is Devontae Adams. If he turns into Devontae Adams, I mean, you have yourself a really good player here. So I really like what I saw from him this season. And I can't wait to see this offense now. I mean, one of the questions I'll be asking you guys is, will the Bears finally have a 4,000, passing quarterback, because they've never had that in their illustrious career there.
Dan,
They've never
what do you
had
think about the quarterback Caleb Williams? I know the brothers are not fans of Caleb Williams.
Let me tell you something. What's going to happen the first time someone comes across the middle and gives them a little welcome to the NFL moment? Mama's going to be up in the booth, dude. You're not going to be able to run over there and cry to her.
Come over here. But
I want to tell you, when it comes to this pick, I've seen this story before. No offense to anybody out there. But, national championship loser, someone who lost a national championship in purple, receiver taken in the first round. I've been there. I got PTSD. I'm still trying to move on and move forward from it.
Dan, I know we kind of brought you on to talk Joe Alt. I want to give you more of the floor here for your time. But I know you also touched on it, but how difficult can that be, that transition from one of these left tackle guys, Slater and Joe Alt, having to go to right tackle? We've seen Tristan Wirfs do it. We've seen Penicio do it. If you're legit, if you're a bona fide stud tackle, you should be able to do it, right?
Oh, I 100% totally agree. Like I think it's, I mean, they're in the NFL, I'm not, but I think it's one of the stupidest things ever, in the sense of, talk about having like a mental gridlock, like, you know what I mean? Like almost like a writer's block, but it's the same position, just to the right. Like the only thing really that changes is the way your feet are set. And shout out, there he is. Shout out to the GOAT. Shout out to the GOAT. But really, nothing changes.
You need your brother to hype you up? Come on, how pathetic.
What are you talking about? How pathetic? I'm sorry, dude. That's what we do. Hey, Frau, put a 1 up in the chat. We might as well be the gosh dang blood. No. We're not the bloodline. We're the bloodline. Frau and I are the bloodline together, the brother.
Yeah, half Scottish, half whatever else.
Oh. Now you want to attack my roots? Now you want to attack. You better be careful. Have you been watching Drew?
70% Mexican blood.
Drew McIntyre. Anyway,
well, why that's your boy, huh? That's why.
That's my dog. He's representing. There you go. Put him up, Frau. He's representing us. There you go. But going back to it, the only thing that really changes is your feet, really. Yeah. Other than that, like nothing really changes. But I always go back to what Taylor Lewan said. And this is, I get it, but at the same time, you need to be flexible. In my opinion, playing offensive line is like playing any other position. Versatility is the name of the game. You got to be versatile to get on the field, because only 5 guys are on there. But, going back to it, Taylor Lewan, very good tackle, had injury problems towards the end of the year. But he said, I he's like, I'm a left tackle. I could never play right. They tried moving me out there. I was terrible, whatever. But the problem is sometimes too, these guys, if you think about it, they've played left tackle or these positions probably since they were in high school. So that's essentially almost a decade if they graduate from college, playing the same position. It's a huge change for them to move over to the other side. You know what I mean? That's like, changing up a golf swing or whatever other loser non-physical contact sport you want to use, or your bat swing or whatever, I don't know. But, there you go. That's like, making a shortstop into an outfielder or vice versa or whatever. Like there's different speeds and everything else, but relatively you have the same fundamentals and the same, task at hand. But yeah, like I said, I'm not worried at all by this. I think this is a good move. I would have just personally, I hope they're going to address the issues. In my mind, the bigger problems are not even on the outside. It's the interior linemen. You saw Zion not have a good season last year and then he was hurt. You saw any success Sawyer had at left tackle his rookie year was now, back in the dumps when they moved him to guard and, he didn't play well last year. Obviously Clapp didn't play well, serviceable, but I mean, really come on. Trey Pipkins, another guy, serviceable, maybe a good patch over guy, but I don't think he's I don't think he's the guy to be there also to really, be on an island and protect Justin Herbert. So like I said, I'm not worried about this at all. Clearly I would tell any Charger fans in the chat or listening, by the way, shout out to the 2 Daniels I saw. We're freaking killing it tonight. There's 3 of us.
There's a Dan, there's a Daniel.
Maybe they're burners. Maybe they're my burners. Maybe they're my burners.
I was going to say too many Dans here, but real quick, fellas. So Eric bringing out the point here. So glad all these offensive players are going early. I'm guessing Eric is a Rams fan because the Rams need a lot of help.
Yeah, he was in our comments from last night.
So that's the first 10 picks. Wow, I think that's NFL history are going to be offensive players, no defense. And they gave you some breaking news that's already maybe a little late. The Minnesota Vikings. I'm not 100% sure, Victor. Haven't seen that just yet, but it's going to be probably most likely. But just leave it up there. The Vikings traded with the Jets. The 1 pick swap. The Vikings were number 11. The Jets were number 10. So they flip right there. And I want to say the Vikings got a 4th rounder and a 5th rounder. And then for the trouble, sent back a 6th round pick to the New York Jets. So most likely it's going to be JJ McCarthy right here because obviously the Jets are smart. Hey,
they only moved up a place.
Yeah, because they're probably saying, hey, Vikings, people want your boy JJ McCarthy. You want him, right? It's all like a poker game, right? It's poker.
Yeah.
Come get him. Give us a couple picks here, a 4th rounder and a 5th rounder.
When to hold them.
And come up. So you know what? Sometimes you got to do that. That's pretty
when
often.
to hold them.
Yeah, so maybe if you're the GM, if you're Joe Douglas saying, Quasi from the GM for the Vikings, know when to fold them. There you go.
By the way, Gilbert, some history has been made. This is the earliest the 5th quarterback has been selected.
Damn.
The record before that was Josh McCown at number 12 in 1999. So with JJ McCarthy now selected at number 10, this is the earliest 5 quarterbacks have gone in the 1st round.
Airborne Figgy, are you Tony? I have a friend named Tony who says stupid things like that also. But don't worry about wide receiver. Don't worry about wide receiver.
Protection. Yeah, how about that?
If he's protected, guys will get open eventually. They can run the football. The run game, that's the other thing. You run the game to open the pass. You can't pass to open up the run game. It doesn't work like that. Especially like the run game is what closes out games and will win games. The pass game, it'll put up points and everything else. But you've seen guys lose because you're not running the clock. You're not being physical. You can't, I don't care what people say about passing league and everything else. You can't win Super Bowls without running the football and being physical. Because in the second half of games, guys are exhausted when they get beat up for a half of football and everything else. One thing I do want to say, now looking at this trade and all that, Vikings are kind of smart. Everyone pegged them to go to number 5. They probably would have had to give up an arm and a leg. Now you jump one spot and just give up a 4th and a 5th. Not too bad, I guess.
Call the bluff.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody, the first trade too, by the way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then one more here from Dano says hoping for Turner or Latu at number 19. Now the Rams are looking good right now.
That's gonna be my question because I gotta get out of here by 7 Pacific. You think the Rams will make the pick by number 19?
The way we're going, we were supposed to only get 10 picks in. and we
We're already at
got the
10.
Broncos, the Jets, and the Raiders.
Man,
So
but we started at 5:15. It was about an hour 10 to get to. So I'm gonna wait it out. I don't know, Dan, if you have time, you feel free. No pressure.
Yeah,
But
I got time. I
think I'm gonna try to make it to number 19 here for the Rams. But after that, I got to go right. But so far, man, 10 picks, offensive players going in the first round. JJ McCarthy. I'll say this about JJ. I don't know how I feel about his upside, but damn, did he impress me in the Alabama game, because we've seen so many times where, teams from the Big Ten or the Pac-12 or whatever. You're in a college football playoff game against Alabama or SEC. You're gonna get crushed, and they're falling behind. They were getting smacked in the mouth. He came back. I think he had a critical fourth down play in his own territory. Went down, marched down the field, executed the play. I like it. I don't know how I feel about Sam Darnold being maybe like the bridge guy for a year, but that's an option too.
yeah, and going off of that, I mean, I told you guys one of the things that I've been hearing about with JJ McCarthy and why teams really love him is because they remind him of what you've seen from Brock, with the 49ers. And they want that somebody who can run that Shanahan offense. And guess what? You're going to someone who runs that same style of offense in the Minnesota Vikings, as Fernando talked about yesterday. He said one of the guys that would be, actually on Tuesday, that would make sense was the Vikings and JJ McCarthy, and because of that, so I for the Vikings is a perfect pick. You let him sit now, and you let Sam Darnold, take the wheels for a year.
I'm just not a fan of Sam Darnold, but I guess when you have Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson, it can make it easier. What do you think, Dan? For
100%, 100%. Like, the one thing I will give JJ McCarthy, he doesn't turn the ball over, so that's a positive they have looking at that. From the little I saw again from the playoff run and everything else, he's a smart guy with the football. He's not going to turn it over. He's going to be smart. He knows not to really put it in dangerous areas and everything else. In terms of the Sam Darnold, I think it's worth it to kind of, obviously no year's a wash here, but I think it's worth it to let McCarthy sit, kind of get up to speed, get acclimated and everything else, especially because, like I said, you don't know how he's going to react kind of coming to the NFL and everything else, just because in his offense, a lot of it was just handing the football. So he's going to be asked to do a lot more here, I'm sure. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I think Sam Darnold's going to be able to show something maybe with O'Connell. I think I think he's going to be solid. 'Cause, I mean, Sam Darnold, he's one of those guys from what we've seen. He'll have a game where you're like, good God, where the hell has this been? And then the next game will be, good God, send his ass back to the bench. So I think they're going to be fine. They're going to be able to figure it out.
What do you guys think the Jets do? Because they're on the clock, or their pick is in right now. I got to say, I'm going to say tackle. It has to be.
It has to be tackle. I mean, and just we have some questions here, Gilbert, in terms of from Daniel Calderon with the Rams. He says, what do you think we're aiming at for 19 for the Rams?
Man, the board is falling their way right now. And remember that the last 48 hours, Latu and Byron Murphy the second have gotten a lot of love in the last 48 hours. You might get a pick from that. Even Brock Bowers is still out there. I would love Brock Bowers in the Sean McVay offense, but in terms of defense, that board is breaking their way. How about you get greedy and go cornerback? How about Terrion Arnold? How about Quinion Mitchell? So overall, I like the options for the Rams. And maybe they trade up. Maybe they get a little antsy here. It won't cost you that much from number 19 to whatever number 12 it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens here. But the Jets, it sounds like the pick is in. So we'll wait.
I have not gotten tipped off on that one.
Yeah, no tip yet? Oh, okay.
No, that'll be my last banner. And then I still got I got the Broncos, I got the Raiders. I'm ready to go. And then I got the Rams. I got the Rams too.
Okay.
What number are we even at right here?
We're 11.
Oh, 11. Oh, well, yeah, the other one was number 10.
We're gonna try to wait it out to number 19 where the Rams pick. Hopefully the Rams care about my deadline and they move up and they trade up. And
they're not gonna care. They're not gonna. That's the Gilberto curse right there. Thinking like, oh, your deadline's at 7 or whatever. Oh, okay, no worries.
Trade back.
Trade back.
Yeah, exactly. No big deal. No big deal. But
nobody cares about my deadline here.
Yeah, no. Do the Chargers trade up? Maybe if
back in.
Go get some Brock Bowers if he's still hanging out at 15.
Oh,
who knows? Well, you know what's crazy? Malik has fallen in this draft, hasn't he?
No, he got drafted. Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, who drafted him?
The Giants.
The Giants.
Really?
Yeah,
The pick is in.
They believe in Daniel Jones apparently.
Yeah, okay. Let's see how that works out for him.
Who is it?
Olu Fashanu from Penn
Makes
State.
a lot of sense, Gilbert.
Finally, Joe Douglas, you're doing something right here, building in the trenches. I know Dan and Daygo loves that. What does that mean for Aaron Rodgers, Dan? Why I get this banner going?
Hopefully that means that he's not going to tear his ACL on the second play of the game of the first game of the season or whatever else. You know, that's another thing that just people still will never understand, that it's like you win football games by your front seven and up and your 5 offensive linemen. Like, it doesn't matter. You could have freaking Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, make your elite of skill players. But like, if your offensive line are, bag boys from Walmart, the ball's never gonna get anywhere. They're not gonna be able to do anything really. So, I'm sure there's hopefully there's a good pick for him. So we could see the real Jets and see the potential, because you heard it all last year. Oh, well, if A-Rod was here, it'd be different and all this stuff. And especially because I think the AFC, what the hell are they? East? Yeah, the AFC East is wide open. I don't think Miami's going to be much. I don't think
Buffalo's taking a step back.
Buffalo's going to take a step back. I don't think the Patriots are going to be much. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and here's another question too, because we asked about left tackle, right tackle, Dan, and I guess this is your type of draft pick right here, because it's a tackle. But the Jets, signed in free agency 2 veterans tackles of Morgan Moses, and then obviously Tyron Smith, the former All-Pro for the Cowboys. So you're set veteran wise, but those guys get hurt. They're over the age of 33. But you also want to have the kid to play because he's a first-round pick. How hard is it? Say they do this. They keep the veterans on the outside. They move Fashanu to the inside as a guard. Playing for a year from tackle to guard, is that a hard transition?
100%. Again, that's the hardest one to make, because let me put it to you like this, right? You go from blocking essentially, think about it like this, right? On the edge, you're going to block Joey Bosa. You're going to block Khalil Mack. You're going to block
the Broncos pick is in, sorry.
You're good. Max Crosby, big guys, but they're slender. You know what I'm saying? They're slender, they're faster. It's a different, what I'm getting at is a different body type. You move inside, you're going to block the, I can't think of any. Ndamukong Suh, you're going to block the Chris Jones. You're going to block, who else is nasty up front? Oh, the guy from the Titans, his name escapes me. Casey Simmons or something Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons.
There you go. But those type of body types, you're going from 270 to 300 pounders, depending on what the package is and everything else. And especially you get a like 290 guy or whatever who's fast, like Chris Jones and everything else that can move. Like that's a completely different body type. Like you're almost asking them to play a different position on like a different world. Like it's not easy. And I think the perfect case study was last year when you saw them move Salyer from tackle to guard, and it didn't really work out or pan out the way they wanted, because I've said this before, but I'll just bring it up real quick, and then you can tell me who the Broncos drafted or whoever. It's not going to matter, but think of it like this: as a tackle, as a boxer, you're Muhammad Ali. You're keeping him at a distance. You're a little bit faster. You have more room to wiggle with, and everything else. You're playing your game by keeping them away and keeping them at a length, right? When you're a guard or a center, you're gosh dang Iron Mike Tyson. You got to get in close, and you got to really strike and get in there. Like, the analogy I like to use is a fight in the phone book when you're inside. So imagine in the phone book, no space, and you just got to get after it. So.
All right, Vic, before we move on to the Broncos pick, and it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I guess we talked about Joe Douglas on the show, a couple of days ago, and so far, I think I like what he's done. Adding Mike Williams, now you build it. You focus on the trenches. You got, I think, maybe now all positions in the offensive line have been filled. They went into the offseason with 3 openings there. They filled them out now, the defense is pretty good. They paid Quinn Williams, guys like that. Are you gonna start buying some stock again on the Aaron Rodgers Jets, or maybe not?
I want to see what this team looks like, come training camp, because I still have some question marks with this team. We've seen, I know I keep bringing it up and it's an old record, but I still don't trust that turf. We've seen what that turf does to, teams in New York. And so especially I like the fact that they went and selected an offensive lineman here. So we'll see what happens, but I want to see how the rest of the AFC East kind of, shapes up when we get to training camp, because there's still a lot of work to do with a lot of these teams.
That is you, Airborne Figgy. Tony, that's you. That has to be you. Let me know if that's you.
You figured it out. George just straight up to take Cooper DeJean. How about that? But all right, let's just do it. I feel like my internet might be down or my YouTube TV is down.
Yeah.
But 6 quarterbacks now off the board, and the trend continues. Offensive player, 12 players in a row are offensive side. Bo Nix, the 24-year-old, because Dan just looked it up, out of Oregon, formerly of Auburn, played against Justin Herbert. And I don't know if the Broncos maybe got a little antsy because the Raiders are behind them. They need a quarterback too, and said, F it, let's take Bo Nix right now to go with Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham. I hate to break it to you, Broncos. I still don't like your quarterback room. Bo Nix I feel like it was a reach pick. It might have been a second-round pick. The problem, fellas, for the Broncos, they don't have a second-round pick. They had to get desperate. They had to do it right now. But why not take your lumps with, Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham? Maybe you get the first pick overall next year. Take who from Colorado, Dan?
Shador say, dude, could you imagine? We'd never hear the end of it if he was a number 1 overall.
I would like, you know what? Let me take my lumps here with the quarterbacks that I have, and let me get a stud at number 12. Instead, they reach. Vic, how do you feel about Bo Nix?
Yeah, no, I don't like this pick at all. I think they kind of reach. I mean, I saw him going either late in the first round or in the second round. I mean, I get it. They don't have a second round pick, but you can always trade to the back end of the first round. And I guess, with the Raiders really have, picked the quarterback at 13, I just don't see it. But
maybe pay next, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't even care about Bo Nix. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and then Joaquin Quijada says, was watching on a stream, but remember the Compas,
there you
Murphy
go.
Or an OT. Out. There we go for
Joaquin?
And it sounds like it is him.
Oh no, I know who it is. Yeah, only he says the most outlandish things about the son of Odin, God of Lightning. It's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me.
Eric Wen says that the Rams trade to 15 and draft Murphy. So
is that's a prediction or breaking news?
Yeah, no, that's his prediction. And then our friend Rudy Alvarez says, poor Raiders.
No, why poor Raiders? You want them to reach for a quarterback? If it's not one of the big 4, you could have waited for Penix or Bonus, but people wanted them.
But I mean, in my opinion, what are they at? 12 or whatever?
13. Yeah, they're 13. They're about to pick. They're on the clock.
I don't think that's a bad move there, especially if this draft class is as deep at tight end, as deep at
I think they're going corner.
Receiver and shit, my bad. I don't think it's a bad move at 13 to do this, because I mean, especially if they see something in him. Because I mean, if this draft is as deep as they say in receiver and tackle, you could focus on that in the later rounds and everything else. Supposedly, he revived his career at Oregon, if I remember right, after he transferred out of Auburn. There was a lot of hype behind him and everything else. Sure. And more importantly, I think at 13, with this guy, he might be the guy, he might not. I still think it at least gives them a little flexibility for next year for Sean Payton to see if, he's just going to, like you said, take his lumps with Stidham or one of them, or see if
that would have been my way, because that roster is terrible. They need guys who are going to be cornerstone pieces, and they're going to reach for Bo Nix, Paxton Lynch. Remember that? I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't think. But Paxton Lynch was like a top 5. I think. I don't think he was.
He was maybe in the teens. But Dan, real quick, because I just saw Bo Nix highlight on my screen. He's wearing number 10 at Oregon. You don't retire numbers there at Oregon? Come on.
They should. Let me tell you something. They should build his statue. Won the Rose Bowl or whatever else when he was out there. But, I don't know. I just don't see next year, like, who really is going to be a guy, like, all jokes aside, quarterbacks coming out.
Okay. Sorry. I just saw the Raiders pick, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Put it in.
I don't know. I just see they're on the clock. Yeah, but I don't think really there's a quarterback anyone's looking for next year that they're like, oh, this gonna be the guy, or that's gonna be a guy. Like, I saw a list the other day and it was like Jalen Milroe and Shador and some of these other names, and I was like, I wouldn't.
That could be part of it too, Dan. Like, it's such a terrible draft class supposedly next year, and then that's where they go for the lead.
Wow.
But I was gonna ask you, but a player from last year. I'll just say this, Dan. The trend of offensive players continues through 13 picks. Still no defensive player been drafted.
Damn.
And there's gonna be competition for tight end in Las Vegas. So
they selected Bowers.
Yeah.
Might as well say it. Las Vegas Raiders, but a stunner select Brock Bowers. I like it. You don't have a quarterback, but Minshew's one of the best bridge quarterbacks out there. So maybe again, you take your lumps and say F it. So what happens to Michael Mayer? Michael Mayer is more of a blocking. I don't want to pigeonhole him.
No. You could
but
probably
he's
use
a
him
better
as
he's a better blocker. Yeah, exactly. He's a better blocker, so he does fit the scheme of it or as a need. And Bowers is a better pass catcher overall. But you got weapons to play with there. I like it.
Wow.
We're gonna do. Who's going to throw him the ball? Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, I like personally, I like Gardner Minshew, like you said, as a bridge. Like you can do something with him. I think
better than Stidham. He's better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was so surprised that some of those guys didn't go get him. Like, I don't know why. This guy. Yeah, I don't know why. If you're the Broncos, you wouldn't look at Minshew. You know what I mean? Over Zach Wilson and some of these other guys,
Mitch is definitely the better bridge quarterback. But I totally forgot that Tom Telesco did not draft Michael Mayer, so maybe he had an opportunity to draft him last year with the Chargers, and he didn't do it. You might not like the kid.
Oh, just wait! It's about to get a lot worse before it gets
better.
The
best player available, by the way. I mean, can you fault him? I mean. I can
figure it out. Competition, like I keep saying.
But why even compete? There's no competition. You're just two tight end sets. You can either put them
with the New England Patriots, right?
I was gonna say, can you say the name?
Of course. This isn't WWE.
Robert Gronkowski.
Aaron Hernandez. I'll tell you one thing. You know who benefited the most from Aaron Hernandez going down? Rob Gronkowski, dude. That was the guy who benefited the most. You remember? Hernandez was, at the time the highest paid. Well, we don't need to go on a tangent about this.
Yeah, let's not have an Aaron Hernandez special here, but we always think about that, right? When it's a two tight end set. So
yeah, that's what you always go to.
I thought Mayer had good flashes last year. He's more polished, obviously, as a blocker, but take the best player available, like Victor said. So, Vic, from your point of view, what do you feel? Obviously, you follow the Raiders closely. How do you like this for Brock Bowers, number 13?
It was a bit of a shocker, but then when you think about Tom Telesco, what does he do? He usually takes the best player.
I can tell you what he does.
Yeah. Go ahead, tell me.
On the negative
what does
side.
He usually on the negative side? No, but just think, in terms of offensively, you're gonna need to compete.
Totally.
Yeah, now you don't have that. You don't have the quarterback right now, and with all the quarterbacks gone. I mean, that defense played really well. They punch the Kansas City Chiefs in the mouth. So you need to improve that offense. And, they were not scoring over 30 points with McDaniels there. Let's see what they can do now with the Brock Bowers in that offense with a Devontae Adams, with a, Jacoby Myers as well. And then, you try to pick up another running back, in the middle round. So we'll see what happens.
As Amir White, who did impress me last year. So I like it. Brock Bowers should be interesting in the AFC West there. And
I think you're going to have a nice little advantage, if they go man to man. Bowers, if I remember right, he's kind of like a smaller hybrid type of tight end. I don't think he's like a big stocky
he could
guy.
Pretty much
Meyer.
be a wide receiver for you.
He could be like in the slot.
Yeah,
he could be
guy
like
for
in the
sure.
slot. Yeah.
So we get too caught up in the positions that they play, but this guy could do a lot of things as a wide receiver.
Is in for no, not.
By the way, the Saints have to take a freaking tackle because that Trevor Penning guy has not not worked out for them.
You guys want to go through these comments real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Worry.
Yeah,
the Saints,
all right.
The Saints will pick a quarterback. Who's left?
Yeah,
they need it.
What's up, Rob?
Okay, here we go. Let's go with Joaquin Tejada says, Verse, Murphy, Turner, Robinson will be a Ram. So one of those guys are all
pick you want. By the time we get to the number 19, it's gonna be the first defensive player available.
Yeah. So and then Rudy with the same old Raiders.
Does not like it. Does not like Brock Bowers.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Raider fans.
Rams are gonna draft defense for sure. Guy. And then Airborne says, shout out Hernandez.
That's your friend, huh, Dan?
That's my boy.
That's who you hang out with, huh? Apparently.
Yeah. Tony's a dog, dude. I love.
Got Juan Cervantes. Telesco better picks than John. So
John Gruden.
John
Gruden
or John Spanos. I don't know.
I don't know.
John Spanos. Get out of here.
Is going on? Daniel Calderon. McVay is pissed they couldn't trade up.
Yeah, but they probably like this the way it is, at least on defense. But everybody's saying,
Rob,
what's up, Rob?
What's up?
What's he drinking there, Rob G? I like the picture.
Rudy says tight end was not a need.
It was not, but he was the best player available. Rudy,
Exactly.
come on.
Dano says Bowers will be a bust now that he's with the Raiders.
Damn.
You know what's funny? He's gonna.
So let's go strikes again.
It's gonna remind me. Oh, there's my boy JC. Oh, is that JC? Yeah, that might be.
He is a JC.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You got a JQ here.
Joaquin Quijada says, do the Rams trade back and acquire even more picks, fellas?
At this rate, man, you take the best defensive player on the board if it keeps going this way, man.
I mean, Byron Murphy might be there. I mean, you can pick who you're choosing here. Like, you can pick whoever you want at this point. I mean, we're assuming the Saints are going to pick a lineman here as well. So
they got
what number are we even at?
14.
Oh.
And they still got Fuaga from Oregon State, and they still got Fatano from from Washington.
It does that.
Automatic, it got to be one of those two guys. And we're gonna get your insight again because you're the offensive lineman guy, Dan. But I like it. You know, offensive players and tackles and quarterbacks off the board.
Take notes, John.
Take notes,
Juan. I don't know what John he's talking about. Maybe it's an inside joke.
It might be John Gruden.
Look at he takes a tight end depth telescope.
Oh wow!
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Elizabeth with the shots fired here.
Oh my God! Yeah, don't even get me started on this.
But
guy.
honestly, I feel like maybe Tom just didn't like Michael Mayer. He wouldn't draft him last year. Remember that all the Charger fans were screaming, "Take a tight end, take a tight end."
Who did they draft last? Oh, I remember.
He passed. Remember?
Now I see why they're saying he strikes again. I just remembered who they drafted. Yeah, that's right.
What do you think here? Does McVay pick a receiver, or who do you all like?
Well, you still got Brian Thomas out there, but I'm still with the defense train.
Yeah, you got to go. I mean, Byron Young. I mean,
well, wasn't that their biggest liability last year?
Byron Murphy, I should say. Byron Murphy. Yeah, Byron Murphy's there. Latu's there. Even Dallas Turner is still there. So I mean, Daniel.
Oh yeah, they do need an edge rusher.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe they trade up to 15 and they try to get the best player available.
They have two third-round picks too, so they have ammo.
Yep. Yeah, this is gotten really interesting now, and we might get all these picks in, Gilbert, before 7.
I'm hoping, but the Saints are lagging it. You need a tackle. What the hell are you waiting for, New Orleans? Like, you're like, well, is there 7 quarterback on there that we could take for Derek Carr or what? Like, they're just trying.
Oh my God, Elizabeth! Don't remind me of that trade up for a linebacker.
6 quarterbacks already went up.
Yeah, so let's go with trade up for a linebacker.
Don't remind me of that one.
Yeah. Who he plays with the Tennessee Titans, right? Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know if they checked the tape.
He did sign with the Titans.
Right.
Let's go.
I just JC. Saw the pick.
JC. Yeah, he was. No, I'm not gonna pick up the phone, JC. That's not a good idea.
We got the Worm in here. Shout out to the Worm. He's horns up.
Hey, what's up?
Dan, what's up? No, JC.
Are these all your friends, Dan, or what?
Oh yeah. Those are my boys. JC is yeah, especially when we talk about soccer, you should see the chat.
It's pretty wild. Compas FC.
Yeah, he was one of them. Yeah, he was one of them.
Hey, what the hell happened? I've been wanting to know. Compas FC, come back. I'm your number one supporter. I don't give a shit about soccer, but
the problem is he's a delusional United fan.
Oh no,
he's been having a tough go this season. So pick it up. I don't think so. Daniel Calderon, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Cardinals wide receiver 1, best QB. Ask Adams.
I already know the pick. Can I spoil it already or not yet?
Yeah. Did you have it up already? Yes.
Yeah, I got it here. So obviously it's Taco Telese Fuaga, who one of my favorite prospects from what I've been reading.
There you go, Rob. Say it, Rob. A la Madrid. We're going back. 15's coming home, dude.
Can we talk about the real football here? But Fuaga is gonna take over either right tackle, left tackle. They needed it. Derek Carr apparently needed it. Whatever.
Well, they lost Rancid, who is he's got some kind of injury, so he's not gonna play this season. Their right tackle,
Ramczyk,
yeah.
Yeah, and they need a left tackle. So I think supposedly Fuaga has been more of a right tackle. But again, Dan, you go from right to left if you're really good, right?
Exactly. And you have the proper coaching. That's the real. Oh my God. There goes Tony. Stop disrespecting the
There you go.
Game.
Airborne. That's my guy right here. Airborne. We got a real football.
Stop disrespecting the beautiful game, dude.
Love it or get out, Dad.
Oh my God. But what was I going to tell you? Yeah, like if you have the proper coaching and you have the proper mindset, you for sure can go right to left and everything else. But some of these guys, for whatever reason, just put up that roadblock, and I assume it's because sometimes, like, obviously, right-handed quarterback, in general, blindside tackle is always going to make more. So maybe that's why sometimes they're very, don't want to move and stuff like that. But I mean, we'll see.
By the way, that was I'm losing track after 14. Who's picking 15? I memorized the first 14 draft picks, and I don't know who's going 15.
I thought I had. Oh, my bad. I thought you have
Bengals 18 and Rams 19.
You have Indy, and then
Indy?
you have Seattle. So what do you think? What Seattle? They might take Byron Murphy. Their run defense is terrible.
Yeah, but they paid Leonard Williams too. But yeah, it's all about best player available. But I don't know why they re-signed Leonard Williams. I think he's a little overrated, but that's just me. And the Colts are interesting. They tend to go with athletes, so maybe like a Quinyon Mitchell could be a pick right here. Finally for defense, I think.
DB, they'll probably go Terry on Arnold or.
14 picks and nobody's defensive player so far being taken.
I think the first one goes here with the Colts. I would be shocked if they don't go with one here.
What's up, Athir? By the way, thank you for the shout out. Don't say hi to Dan.
No, I did say hi. I said hi. I said hi before you
say
said
hi.
hi.
I'm saying Athir.
Oh, yeah, I heard all the naughty stuff you were saying over here. While I was on my drive, I was like, this mother, I was about to just FaceTime in or whatever and get on this stream on the phone like last time. So I'd be like, what the hell's going on, dude?
Well, I'm just glad you're watching it. I had to make sure you're paying attention. You passed the test.
My God, I always.
Hello, here.
There you go.
John Harbaugh is with the Ravens guy.
The
fact that I got to clarify. Oh, yeah. So my boy, Daniel Calderon, you need to chill, my guy. Well, I guess there's multiple Dans, but I am the real Dan.
I'm the real Dan. Wow, we're going to have a Dan.
We're going to have a Dan off.
Dan off. There
yeah, yeah. Just so you know, JC's kind of an interesting Chargers fan. He was not a fan of a Harbaugh hire. He was not excited about Jim Harbaugh and everything else, and I don't get it. I don't get why. I don't even know who he wanted, actually. So that's going to be interesting for him right now. JC, what coach did you want, by the way, when they were looking for somebody? See if you could put that in the chat. But
Elizabeth, if you want to see a nail, look at who the Broncos drafted.
Elizabeth coming out. Dude.
I was gonna say swinging out here. That's tough, man. I'm trying to.
Athir says my coach not messing around. He is going to protect Herbert no matter what.
Yeah, I want to see what the temperature is for the Chargers fan base on Joe. I think you gotta like the pick, right? Like,
I'll tell you one thing. I like to pick. If we're understanding either he or Slater is going to be on one side or the other. Like I said, there had to have been conversations about, or who knows, maybe they trade what's his name out. Oh my God. These fools are crazy. You see what I have to deal with? You see, oh yeah, he wanted Bill Belichick. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. He did want Bill Belichick.
And that's what I thought they were gonna go and get, honestly, like midway through the season.
Well, you saw what happened. Freaking Robert Kraft started sabotaging like a toxic ex-girlfriend, dude. Started sabotaging.
Dark side Bill.
Palpatine.
I wonder what Bill Belichick is doing right now with Pat McAfee. They're definitely drinking some beers right now.
No, they're doing a magic trick. They have a magic show going on right now. I don't know if the guy's guessing the pick or what, but
all right, Gilbert, we're 4 picks away from the Rams.
We gotta speed it up here, man. Freaking that's a big crowd in Detroit, by the way. That's a lot of people out there.
Oh well, they usually have big crowds for the draft. I mean, I don't. Especially, I don't know if it's outside or not, but I would not want to be there freezing my ass off and everything else.
Bill Palpatine.
I know as a Rams fan, Joe Alt is a great pick. So
yeah,
there you go. Even Rams fans.
A lot of Rams fans wanted Joe Alt in the last 48 hours. It felt like that was a hot name coming up. But hey, defense, man, it's got to be defense right here.
Yeah, but like
I just saw the Colts pick here.
Already, who was it?
Put it in there. Put it in the banners.
Going back to the Joe Alt thing, like in my mind, you protect Justin Herbert and you run the football. And I think, and honestly, another case study you could tell, the Patriots did that for many years where they would have offensive linemen who could run the football and protect Brady and everything else. And you saw a lot of the receivers were no name or not, the highest price tag guys. When he had the highest price tag guys was, Randy Moss and all those guys, and they lost 2 Super Bowls like that or whatever it was. So, I still always think the run game and a good, pass blocking offensive line will make the receivers look better. Oh my God.
Even
Daniel
Quentin
Keller
Johnston.
wants to know if LA is going to have a draft event, and
I hope so.
Well, you kind of have to pay for it. I mean, you have, I think Chicago, I think Green Bay is getting it next year, so you kind of have to pay for it. So yeah, there goes one of the guys for the Rams.
Rental cars are gonna go up next year because you got to go from Chicago to Green Bay and drive up 2 hours.
And then the other thing to keep in mind, there's a lot going on in LA the next few years. You got a Super Bowl, you got a World Cup, you got the Olympics coming up. So I think LA is gonna sit out for a little bit until, I think if LA gets the draft, it'll be like 2029 or 2030 by then.
Rudy's still going through, by the way.
Yeah, he says the Raiders need to trade back to make up for this into the first round. Athier says last season JJ had break wall up front him and Michigan. Keep that in mind with Harbaugh as coach.
Exactly.
And then Rob G says same old Raiders, Rudy. Airborne Figgy says
is that Hennessy on the picture? I gotta figure that
out. Airborne Figgy says, who's Herbert going to throw the ball to, QJ?
Let me tell you something. They protect him for 10 seconds. His ass is going to get open and get the ball also.
There you go.
Athier, Victor
just
shares
catch
the
it,
message.
though. Just catch it.
Well, you see what I'm saying?
He'll get open. You just got to catch the ball. That's it.
Hey, that's Tommy T right there. That's masterclass work over there.
2 tackles to dump the ball for 3 yards.
Hey, Tony. You get 3 completions in a row at 3 yards. It's 3rd and short. I don't even know what you're talking about, or 4th and short, or whatever.
Angel Salcedo says, I hope the Vikings and Pats call to ask if Herbert was on the table.
Wow.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did.
Are you stupid?
Okay, the pick is in. I can share it. Here we go. Gilbert, here, let me put you.
Finally, a defensive player has been chosen. We went to UCLA Pro Day. Leatu Latu, edge rusher, the first pick on the defensive side going off the board to the Indianapolis Colts. I like it. They have some great guys in the interior defensive line. DeForest Buckner, obviously, Grover Stewart. They have a couple guys on the edge. They're making some noise, but they haven't taken off. Go with the guy with the most upside. Leatu Latu. I like it here for Shane Steichen, our boy here, friend of the show on Compas on the V. Apparently, they weren't worried about the medicals here. And all I've heard for the last couple months, if he wasn't hurt, if he didn't have this, he didn't have that, he would be the first edge rusher taken. Well, it didn't matter. It still came to fruition for Leatu Latu. Victor, you followed UCLA football very closely. How does this pick fit for the Colts?
I love it, and especially with the guys we saw. One of the things that I really liked about the Colts and their defense is you already have your linebacker set with DJ Speed and Franklin, as your linebackers. Now you just keep loading up on that defensive line. We saw with Leatu Latu, one of the things he's had 23 sacks the last 2 seasons. His biggest thing was his neck. He was, medically retired by Washington. He transferred to UCLA. They give him, they tell him that he's okay to play, and he flourished. I mean, 23 sacks in the last 2 years, at UCLA. That was really impressive. And one of the things that I really like, he kind of reminds me of Max Crosby in terms of the moves he can make. He's well polished in terms of his moves. As you see, I think part of the reason that you're not seeing a guy like Dallas Turner, some of the other guys being drafted, is because they're fast, but they don't have those moves. Leatu Latu is ready to go. He has a plethora of moves that he can, use on offensive linemen. So I really like this pick.
He's a little slim, but he definitely has all the tools and able to kind of get creative against tackles. And Dan, I'm gonna throw you with this question, but as a Chargers fan, you also you're familiar with players who get hurt easily. How about that? Are you like that?
So you bastard.
I guess for you, being a Charger fan, would you not chosen a Leatu Latu who has a neck injury and concerns like that?
I think putting the fandom aside, I think any franchise should think twice about, especially you remember what happened with Peyton Manning and is he going to play, is he not, and all that Broncos, stuff like that. The neck stuff is not something to play with because especially at a position there that's so physical, like all it takes is one roll up or or one nasty bump, and who knows if he's able to continue after that. So, just in general, I would be very hesitant of taking guys with a lot of injury history because, again, the way they try and covet these first-round picks as guys essentially from 1 to 32, guys who are day one starters, like you got to really be careful with that stuff and make sure you're selecting correctly because, injury history, in my opinion, like that's a little scary just because history repeats itself. And who knows if maybe the body won't be able to take it at the last, because that's the other thing, right? When you get to the NFL, when you get to college, right? Completely different level than high school, physicality, everything else, different speeds, everything else.
Yeah. I wonder how
Same
much
with the NFL. Yeah.
I wonder how much for Dallas Turner not having that upside or being as dominant as Will Anderson Jr. kind of hurt him a little bit here. But I wonder if you're the Rams, will you take Dallas Turner? Maybe they're kind of saying, "Damn, we wanted Lealto
you
right
get
here."
your pick of who you want here now. It looks like, but I think if Cincinnati might snipe him with Byron Murphy there, I would
even
think,
even the Seahawks might say, you know what, they lost Aaron Donald. F them. We're gonna go take Byron Murphy here too. But like I mentioned, they got
Gilbert,
Leonard Williams.
Rob G says it's a Remy Martin
1730. Okay, we gotta try that. What's Fetty Wap 1738? There you go. There we go.
1738.
There you go.
Hey,
there you go.
Hey, what's up? Hello.
All right, let's go through these comments as we wait for the Rams pick to come through in about hopefully soon. Yeah, Athier says, well, I will say, who is JJ's number one wide receiver last year? I rest my guess. Thank you. So he's talking about like, hey, you wait on a receiver there. And then Daniel Colts with the steal of the round so far with Latu. So last year at Michigan, Airborne Figure says Buckner and Latu kind of crazy looking for the next Freeney or Mathis. Yep.
Yeah.
Good combination there. Daniel Caldwell said, I think it's Murphy without a doubt for the Rams there. Other Ram fans think it's going to be Murphy. Murphy is my final prediction. The Worm says, I was hoping Latu would be around hungry. He's a hungry beast. And then for Daniel, he says Murphy or Turner there. So, and then Angel wants to know if do the Seahawks still have Nwosu?
Yes, they do. They still you're trying to. He got paid. He got an extension. He played well, but he got hurt last year. And I think that's why they made moves to get Leonard Williams and guys like that. But they got Leonard Williams. They got Chandler Nwosu. They got a player they drafted that they really like. I'm blanking on his name. I want to say Hall. And then they also got blanking on his name, the other guy who used to play for the Broncos. But Draymond Jordan. So they got talent, but they just can't put it together for some reason. So.
Yeah, and they need help at the defensive tackle. I know they paid Leonard Williams, but they might go here with another
they
guy.
They paid Draymond Jordan and Leonard Williams. But
the pick is in. I don't know. It just says the pick is in. So
for the Seahawks?
For the Seahawks.
I have not seen it. Let me see.
Yeah. But like I said, it's never, I think there's never enough, especially for defensive linemen. There's never enough. You can always get a lot of them, rotate them in, keep them fresh, and everything else. So, and at the line of scrimmage, that's where it's really one game in and game out. I had a football RQ. LeBron gonna get the
they stuck it to them, but I'll just say that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Hey Tony, no one watches basketball anymore.
I'll tell Rams fans this: maybe stop sharing the pick you want because I think they all keep getting taken.
Yeah.
Because they go, Brock Bowers, Joe Alt. Okay, never mind.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want?
So that tells us that the Seahawks got him.
Yeah, let's go with. Yeah, they didn't care about paying Draymond Jordan, Leonard Williams because they couldn't run stop for anything to save their life. So Byron Murphy II goes to Seattle Seahawks at number 16. So, man, the Rams are right there close to getting like a Latu or Byron Murphy. And I want to say that those two guys are really high on their draft board, at least according to the smoke screens out there. So Byron Murphy II, the best top-rated defensive tackle out of Texas, going to Seattle. I think, Victor, you mentioned maybe his run stop is not as polished. So that's a little head scratcher there for this team. But they have a type there. I know Pete Carroll's not there anymore, but it's going to be Mike McDonald now, who's a very good defensive mastermind there. But they love the guys, the interior guys who could be a pass rusher, be versatile, not just be like a nose tackle. So maybe they do like the upside there, but we'll see what happens. They got three guys down the middle.
Yeah, and what do you do if you're the Rams now? Do you trade back? I mean, if you're less need, do you take the best player available? Like everybody's saying, like either take Chop Robinson for the Rams since Latu went to the Colts. Is Daniel Calderon says Cincinnati will probably take Turner. So, yeah, like everybody's flipping. Now they want Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson might get picked in the next couple picks here.
Yeah, because there's still 3 more, right? Until then.
Yeah, where we at was
Didn't
number
Seattle
what? 16?
have?
Yeah, we're at 16, so we got 2 more picks before the Rams.
Who's 17? I think we're missing a team because I think the Bengals are 18. We're missing one, I think, Vic.
Okay, let me find out who it is.
But didn't the Seahawks last year have, protecting the quarterback issues?
They did. I know their tackle Charles Cross got hurt. Then they're kind of out on Abe Lucas, who had a decent rookie year. So they do need help at tackle. So you're right. They could have gotten the kid from Washington right there in their backyard, Troy Fotano.
Exactly, somebody.
He hasn't been drafted yet.
You know what's something crazy that I can't. It's going to be crazy to experience this year is Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, and Pete Carroll not coaching in the NFL. That to me is insane.
Yeah,
especially.
They want to get younger. They want to get younger, and they want to have more of a mastermind, and that's what Mike McDonald is. He coached the Ravens defense, and they played well. And the Seahawks, they have a lot of talent, but they weren't able to put it together. That's the thing.
Yeah, no. Well, especially look at the quarterback play that they had. I'm surprised they didn't try and reach up and go get somebody or something like that.
They seem content with
Geno Smith and
Sam Howell. He's already with New York.
Drew Lock went
to the Giants, so maybe Drew Lock got Malik Neighbors now to throw to.
Damn, Drew Lock went to the Giants. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
damn,
he's their backup now.
Yeah. Backup. He's going to end up starting.
I was going to say
Daniel Jones is going to wet the bed, or he's going to get hurt, or you don't know which one. I still can't believe they're paying that guy $40 million. Like, what a joke, honestly.
Yeah. So Jacksonville's the number 17 pick.
Yes, they're on the clock right now.
No, they could go anyway. To
JC. Be the draft is deep with receivers, supposedly.
Yeah,
they can get other receivers.
The
Charger fans are still caught up with that, huh?
Hold on. Oh, I didn't even see that one. The fact Thomas Jr. is still there. George haven't gone back.
Oh, yeah.
He really is a hater, dude.
Eric is not happy. Damn, not happy about that.
Yeah,
freaking Sea-Hags.
That was my pick for the
Sea-Hags.
Byron Murphy the second.
Harbaugh gonna make his ass.
What do you say?
Hey, Angel, that's facts right there. gonna put some stickum on there, dude.
Get it, Juan.
Jonathan, you need to chill. It's so funny to me.
Who's
rate
John?
You rate that. He keeps calling him his brother's name on purpose to piss me off. You keep rating. You don't have locks, JC. Stop it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You keep rating that bald fraud at United who has no CV, and this guy's won a championship before. I don't even understand what you're talking about. He's won a natty. He turned the 49ers around. I don't want to hear it. Stop it. Stop it. You don't have locks.
Okay. The Vikings
got it. Go ahead.
Shut
the
up.
Vikings are traded with the Jaguars, number 17.
Okay.
So
hold
on.
Up, let me.
You fools are gonna get blocked.
Those Vikings, man, they're making moves.
They're gonna get blocked. Have we blocked any? Oh no, yeah. We find it.
Fernando
blocked someone.
Yeah.
Gonna oh my god! Shut up! I'm not even gonna waste time on that garbage. You need to chill, guy.
It's gotta. You would think it's a receipt. No,
they have receivers.
It's got to be a defensive end, right?
Maybe they want Dallas Turner. Okay. Byron Murphy, man. No, not yet. But Byron Murphy got showed on the screen. Yeah. But yeah, we got a trade here with the Vikings and the Jaguars trading out because I kept looking at the Jaguars. I'm like, they could go a number of ways here, and they traded down. So maybe for them, build up the picks there. I like it for the Jaguars at least.
Especially if everything else is so deep, like tackle. Well, they need. They need.
They need help at tackle too. Maybe
exactly, that's what I thought.
There's a lot of tackles in this draft class. Maybe the Vikings get a cornerback. There hasn't been one taken. They need help in the secondary, so that'll be my choice here. Oh, never mind. The pick is already in. I'll type it in right now, Vic.
Yeah, go ahead. It's ready to go.
They're gonna need receivers too.
I forget that my colleague Albert Beer doesn't work for a TV network, so he could tip the picks all he wants.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't care.
But yeah, we're getting closer now, so might as well because I'm trying to get in a rush here too. Minnesota Vikings select Dallas Turner, who was supposed to be the number 1 rated edge rusher for everybody until Latu came over and said, not here. So Dallas Turner going to the Vikings.
Nah.
Or Nana. Dallas Turner is going to join Jonathan Grenard from formerly of the Houston Texans. So
they're
you
going
go,
young.
You go from going that with Danielle Hunter. You didn't pay him. You paid Jonathan Grenard. Pair him with Dallas Turner. Brian Flores. I like it. Good blitzing defensive coach there. How you guys liking this pick here for the Vikings?
Yeah, I really like this for them. They're going young with, I told you one of the guys I really liked in free agency was Daniel Grenier. I really like what he's done, how he took him a couple years to kind of get going, but he really flourished with, D'Amico Ryans last season. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits in here. Dallas Turner, like I said, he's one of those guys that has all the physical tools. He just doesn't have the moves. I think part of it is going to be part of his development is getting him into some of those moves. I would like for him. I don't know if you guys, remember this, but Von Miller used to have a pass rushing camp. He's now handed it over to Max Crosby. So I would like for a lot of these young guys to go and be part of that pass rushing camp, because I think it helps. You've seen all those guys who've been involved. They've all gotten better, throughout the year. So, I would like to see, Dallas Turner be part of it.
Real quick, I'm updating the title here for the. I guess I can't do it while I am scheduled, but whatever. Because we still got JC Latham going to the Chargers, but I guess I can't edit right now. Okay.
No big deal.
You can update it on the Twitter at least. So Chargers draft Joe all day, but
there you go. No big deal.
I almost read a text out loud. Sorry.
Oh, they got an edge. Minnesota.
Yeah, they got edge rusher. Alabama.
Oh, so 2 more picks for the Rams. We're waiting. We'll wait here. We were gonna leave at 7, but let's see what the Bengals do, Gilbert. What do you think the Bengals need here? What are their needs?
Well, everybody was penciling them in for Brock Bowers, but he's gone now. They have issues with T. Higgins. They got issues with Trey Hendrickson. They all want to get traded. So I don't know. Maybe you go wide receiver to kind of build for the future. Brian Thomas Jr. Maybe you go edge rusher here. Chop Robinson. I say one of those 2 positions because those guys are not happy right now.
Yeah, and then Ram fans are chiming in here as well. The Worm says Chop or Verse. What do you think? I think, like you've been saying, Gilbert, you said on House of Horns that it should be an edge rusher, pass rusher, however you want to say it, however you want to go with. You have Dano as well, says Verse or Mims at 19. Offensive line as well, Gilbert. Mims is one of those guys that's out there as well.
The Washington kid, the tackle, still out there.
Atir, he's seen your comment, but I'll pull it up. Where is it?
Did Dan freeze or what? Oh, I thought you froze.
No, I haven't froze. Let's see what they're gonna do. Yeah, but I would say edge and receiver is what they need. Everybody's gonna need receivers at this point, dude. Especially in the AFC.
Here we go, Dan. This is what he wanted you to see. He says bold prediction: Herbert will only get sacked 6 times next season.
That sounds beautiful to me. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly, because again, in a Harbaugh system, that's the point of emphasis, especially when you've seen him at the owners' meetings and all that, talk about the offensive line. That's going to be a point of emphasis this year.
Rams says
everything.
All right. The playoffs.
Read that comment, Vic, and I got the pick for the Bengals. And that will hype up this Rams pick.
Which comment?
Oh, I thought you had one. But all right, let's get going. The Bengals go with a tackle.
There we go. They took one other
from Georgia. I guess this guy from Washington, Troy Fautano, is like not doing well. So there we go. The Bengals go with tackle, it was a need there. They needed. They lost Jonah Williams, a right tackle, who went to the Cardinals, I want to say. So there you go. You fixed that problem right there for the Bengals. They did not care about T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson crying about being traded. So there you go.
Yeah, and the other thing with Amarius Mims is that he doesn't have a lot of he doesn't have a lot of games played, Gilbert, in college, and so he's one of those guys that has the most upside. He was one of those recruits coming out of college. I don't know if you've seen the video where from a couple years ago where there was this big lineman going up against these little guys. So
that was him.
That was him. So yeah, like it's crazy. It's been 4 years now, and now he's in the NFL.
Wow. Okay. Shout out to Amaris Mims, who won a couple of natties too at Georgia. So
no big.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start the hype now for the Rams.
All right, guys. All right, people who are on House of Horns, let us know, who do you want now here at 19? They stay pat. Do you trade out of this pick? What do the Rams do here? Let us know.
I'm trying to say these big boards right here. Who's the top rated player left right now? How about a cornerback? I wouldn't mind Quinion Mitchell or Terrion Arnold. Arnold would be great for interviews too. He's awesome.
Yeah, Aaron Wentz said since he drafted an offensive lineman, which we just said they did. So Jared Verse, so he wants Jared Verse.
Chop is there too.
Jared Verse. Daniel says I say Chop Verse. So Chop or Verse. So looks like everybody's in agreement here. Everybody's going with the defensive.
Sounds like you're producing a song. Chop the verse here.
Chop the verse. Kind of like they did in back in Texas back in the day.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm trying to see like a big board here for DJ style players, but they're not showing it.
For real. I started trying to get the ESPN stream because
we're at that point of the draft now. Like, okay, who's who are these names?
On the McAfee, they're not showing anything on there.
We'll see. But we're here for the Rams pick, and going off of the Bengals a little bit, they needed some help there. So, but yeah, they lost Byron Murphy, they lost a lot too, but still plenty of players on the board.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta be Cooper.
Oh yeah, gotta be Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean.
What's his name? Says Verse or Mitchell? Yeah, you have corners here too, Gilbert. You have Terry and Arnold. Yeah, or
they will be the first cornerbacks off the board, and you're not reaching with that.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, best DB. I'm cool with that.
God, that would suck. Yeah, for real.
They're gonna end up with this.
Papa Fernando is not here. He's working hard at the headquarters.
He's working hard.
Exactly.
Man. I want to know if he asked Jim Harbaugh about the tattoo. He kept saying he's going to ask about the tattoo.
Yeah, I don't think tonight. No, I don't think tonight. I just can't wait to see. I just can't wait to see what they're going to do after this. See where JC. He's at the facility. He's working tonight. He's writing and doing all that stuff. But yeah. Like I said, I'm not worried. I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year and a few years ago.
We had him on earlier. Right before the Chargers pick. Unfortunately, he had to go work. So
yeah, he had a dip. What pick are we even on? That's the craziest
Number
part.
19, the Rams.
This is the last one. Last one.
Okay.
We're out of here.
We're getting out of here after this.
We've been on for 2 hours and 7 minutes, man.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah, same.
Man, and I gotta write my story. But
and the only thing is, like, now realizing this is our first live stream where we're kind of doing this with an event, I'm like, I kind of need to go to the bathroom, and it's like,
I was gonna say, we're all like this right now.
I don't know how. What's his name? Siciliano used to do it, and then what's his name?
You think they put catheters in
Scott
them?
Hansen for
Scott Hansen.
They have to put catheters or something.
You would think, bro. I gotta take a piss every 2 hours, man. Going right now. It's 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's the craziest part. They have to do something. You know what it is? Maybe they have like.
Watch them trade out right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, Gilbert, go write your story. We're gonna trade out.
Screw you, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a cornerback.
I would take a cornerback here. I mean, you have you went out. You don't know what Trey Davis is gonna do to. What do we? It really is.
Can you freaking stop, JC? You need to stop bullshitting over there. You want to talk about teams not taking football seriously, guy? Look at your boys over there across the pond. I don't even want to hear it.
I think if there was a trade, it would have come in already, right, Gilbert?
Yeah, but NFL Network is still on the Bengals.
Oh my God! I just saw somebody said, "I don't even care what happens in the next 6 rounds. Atlanta Falcons draft F."
Yeah, supposedly Kirk Cousins was stunned. He was shocked about the pick. That's what the reports
So a lot
are
of
saying.
people
So
are
they're
saying
off
it's
to a
either going
great
to be
start.
Jared
Yeah.
Verse or Johnny Newton for the Rams. Let's see if that ends up being the case.
Well, I guess the Rams are officially on the clock. I don't know what the hell took so long, but they're on the clock now.
Yes.
Tony, I'm not even going to acknowledge that horse crap. I don't know what games you're watching.
Yeah.
What about your Padres, dude? They're trash.
Like Gil Manzano, huh? Yeah, just ruining everything.
They're saying that the Rams are making a pick for the first time since 2016.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Let's
Yeah,
get this
I'm on
over
the
with.
ESPN app, and they still have the Bengals on the clock. I'm like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, the pick is in for the Bengals
God,
right now.
barely.
We were way ahead of it because
my
Gilbert's
God.
trying to get out of here.
Jeez Louise.
I'm waiting for Albert
What's your
Bree to break it.
deadline?
I told him I'll have something by 8, but it's
the Rams just tweeted out, it's been 84 years. They're on
That's
the clock.
hilarious. That's hilarious. Hey, but let me tell you something.
That's pretty good.
I would trade all that also to get a Super Bowl out of it. No big deal. I think that's worth the price of admission.
I'm with you too,
even
man.
if it's only one.
They're on the clock. The Rams are
all right. Everybody's doing the same tweet right now. The Rams are actually on the clock. Get out of here.
Yeah, I know.
Give me the damn pick.
I know. This is why I tell you I can't stay in the draft. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. Like, you know,
at this point right here, number 19. Like, I'm already over.
Yeah, like I kid you not. Every year, just so you understand, I watch the top 5 picks, and then wherever the Chargers land, like I'll go away or I'll do something else,
check again.
and then I'll be back when the Chargers draft or whatever. That's about it, because I think it's such a waste of time and everything else. Like I
think the biggest takeaway is the Falcons taking Michael Penix Jr. I think
I get having a succession plan, but not for that guy. I no hate on the guy, but
especially you could have maybe gotten him in the second round or something else. Like you pick a quarterback in the second or third round, not a big deal or whatever. But
everybody panicked. 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks.
Yeah.
Man, that's half the picks in the 12. Number 12.
Do you guys know the last Michigan quarterback to be picked in the first round?
Tom Brady. No, I'm just kidding.
The first round?
Yeah.
Brady Quinn. No, he went to Notre Dame.
I can't remember.
It was Jim Harbaugh, 26 for the Bears in 1987.
Oh,
he was a first rounder.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't he a backup?
Well, he became after he didn't. He wasn't good as a starter.
Oh, damn.
He was like a Gardner Minshew, to be honest. He has some spot stars where he helped out.
Oh.
I'm not waiting.
The LA Rams are up next. We're waiting.
We all know that, but they don't give us a pick. It's 4 minutes in with the pick.
No wonder he's
3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go.
Man, they're being super secretive here.
Yeah.
Nobody has it yet.
Nope, nobody does. I'm like refreshing. Nobody has it, guys. Can they mess up this pick?
Of course they can.
Oh, I guess you could, but they're in a good spot, I feel like.
Of course you can. You could end up being like the Raiders and drafting the, first team all federal penitentiary squad like they did.
Yeah, no. Can't do that.
Still nothing, and we're under 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh man,
wow.
I'm at 3:11. No.
You're a jackass, Tony. You're a jackass.
Hey, I'll take it.
Of course you celebrate that. Of course you celebrate that.
Why not? For $2, I'll take it, man. You couldn't give us the extra cent there for $1.99. $1.99, whatever. Yeah, come on, it's a World Cup.
It's like when you go to the store and they're like, "Do you want to round up?
Oh yeah, do you want to donate to charity? Yeah, round up.
Yeah. Exactly, JC. Brother, ew. Brother,
we'll take it. We're not those people that scoff at a penny or something.
Exactly. No, it's all good. You know what's funny? Like, so a lot of my PE classes are freshmen right now, and they speak in whatever video trends, and it's the weirdest thing ever, dude. Like,
I don't know how you do that. I'd be so annoyed.
Like, I do. Like, I just try. It's almost like white noise. I tune it out now, but some of them will, like, I guess the new one, I haven't seen the video or what, but they always go, "Get up," and I'm like, I was like, God, just shut up. Just
know that one.
Just move on with your life.
But I don't see anything.
God, they're gonna trade out. I know it. Watch.
I would die if that, especially if that messes up your story. Talk about more Gilberto curses.
Oh, we got it, Gilbert. It is the guy that they wanted. That I got it.
All right. I haven't seen shit.
Yep.
Yeah. This is why the draft is stupid. Why is there such a delay on the draft? That's what I don't get. Like, Tony, you're a scumbag.
Oh, okay.
All right, Gilbert, you ready?
Yeah, I like it. I just saw.
Yeah. All right, guys. Here we go. It's the guy that you guys were all saying that they should go after. There you go, Gilbert.
All right, the LA Rams at pick number 19. They needed the need, or they had a need, so they needed this guy. So edge rusher, Florida State, Jared Verse, and he was part of the big four or big three. I feel like Jared Verse, Latu, and Dallas Turner. Chop Robinson was somewhere in there. So I think Jared Verse and Latu have the most upside. I prefer Latu, but hey, Jared Verse doesn't have the whole medical history. So it was a need. It needed an edge rusher to go opposite of Byron Young. We got Kobe Turner in the middle. They still need another interior guy because that guy, Aaron Donald, retired. But I like it. Jared Verse, let us know in the comments. The Worm Black set fire emoji. Victor, what do you feel about this pick right here for Jared Verse?
Yeah, I like it. As you talked about, Gilbert, you said, hey, the Rams really need another edge rusher to go along with Byron Young, and I'm with you. I mean, getting a guy like this who's really fast off the edge, I think will really help. And it gives Chris Shula another weapon to use. We talked about it. Like, you want to see the Rams spend a lot of their draft picks on defense, and for the first time since 2016, they go ahead and draft a first-round pick, and it's a defensive player, which is a bit shocking just because we know, and the only reason is a little shocking just because we've seen Sean McVay want offensive players, but this is a good way to start. Less need. You get a good defensive end here and someone who can, get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and why reach for wide receiver when you got Puka Nacua in the 5th round last year? You got Cooper Kupp on, I said 3rd round, I forget, but yeah, 3rd round pick. So why not go with the edge rusher here, Jared Verse? Dan, any thoughts on the Rams here? I know it's a crosstown rival. Who cares about the rivalry, right?
Exactly. Doesn't matter. They don't matter. It doesn't matter. They'll probably sneak into the playoffs again, maybe, but I'm not worried about nothing. I don't care what JC or any of these fools say. I'm not worried about nothing.
Oh, there you go. We made it 2 hours and 16 minutes here on the live show. We're gonna have a full breakdown at House of Horns. Later on, maybe like 9 p.m. So if the Rams come back in, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Fernando's trying to jump in.
I guess.
I was gonna leave here, but I'll keep it quick here because I got to get going. Maybe Fernando could take over the hosting duties.
How did I put him?
I am not gonna take over the hosting duties.
All right. How did it go for you, Fernando?
No, it was fine. I mean, I'm kind of amazed that people are dumbfounded by this stuff. I mean, you guys have been a
losing franchise. Say it. I'll say it.
Yeah. You guys have been clamoring for a winning coach, somebody who wants to do something.
Where's JC? Get back in the chat. Tell him. His ass has been blowing this up on the whole time. Tell his ass. Tell Tony's dumb ass too.
You've wanted something different. You didn't like what Anthony Lynn did. You did not like what Brandon Staley did. You didn't like any of that. They finally hired Jim Harbaugh. Fans were clamoring for Jim Harbaugh. This is what you're going to get when you get Jim Harbaugh. I don't understand the whole frustration. I mean, they haven't even gotten on the field yet. You don't know what you have. I understand. Like, everybody wanted the flashy pick. But when you look at it, their offensive line has been terrible, Gilbert.
What's wrong with Joe Alt? I don't get the issue here.
Justin Herbert has gotten beat up. He's had injuries. He had an injury, in 2022, he had the rib injury. Last year, he had the two-hand injury. Like, he's gotten hit multiple times. You guys have wanted him to be protected. Now, all of a sudden, they get somebody who's going to protect him, and now you don't want him. Make it make sense in a sense, I guess. Like, I just don't understand why fans are so angry at this pick when all you've wanted was your quarterback to be protected. You're paying him a lot of money.
That's what I want.
A lot of money.
Fernando,
and
real
now
quick.
You don't want this?
I got to get going to.
Don't cut him off.
I got to get going to write a story. But I want to ask you one question. Did you speak to Jim Harbaugh already? Did you guys report it?
Yeah, we did.
Anybody ask about left-right situation?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
And I got blasted on social media. I've been getting blasted by fans. I don't even know why. I did not draft Joe Alt, by the way. Contrary to y'all's belief, I did not draft Joe Alt. But yeah, some guy told me to get a new job. So yeah, because so I tweeted out this. I put real quick, Gilbert, my bad. I'll tell you what Jim Harbaugh said right now. I put Chargers draft Joe Alt, 5th overall from Notre Dame. Rashawn Slater on one side, Joe on the other. I didn't say which side. Protecting Justin Herbert is key for Harbaugh and Ortiz. So all these fans got really mad, and they're like, what do you know? You should get a new job, this, that. Like, I was like, okay. I didn't even make the selection.
You said that they said that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so basically the way it was explained right now, and I understand, fans are going to be dumbfounded by what I'm about to say, but remember, it is Jim Harbaugh. What Jim Harbaugh said is that there's no set in stone pick, or there's no player set in stone right now. So Gilbert, you and I were talking about it in New York. You asked the question that I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even think about that. You said, why is Rashawn automatically the starting left tackle? He's been it, but who knows if he will for Jim Harbaugh. That is true. So according to Jim, they see Trey Pipkins as one of their top 5 offensive linemen.
Okay, top 5.
They see Joe Alt as a top 5 offensive lineman.
Okay.
They see Rashawn Slater as a top 5 offensive lineman.
Competition, I love it.
So exactly. So what does that mean? Who the hell knows? That's another Harbaugh-ism, I guess. But he said that John texted him, and he's like, "That's exactly who I would have gotten if
his brother.
If I was you." Yeah, John Harbaugh.
Oh, I thought you were talking about another John. I was about to say, why?
No,
there's been a John in the chat apparently.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
No. Well, hold on. Let me put that. And I can already tell what Dan. I can already think what Dan's been saying about the selection. I'm sure he's happy, but this is what. So we asked him about the text, and this is what Jim said.
Oh, shut up, JC.
Oh, I haven't texted it back yet. What would be an appropriate response there?
Just thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
There you
go.
So obviously, when it looks like this, I mean, the kid's big. He's 6'9". They called him an athletic freak. They're saying that the kid is something else. And I know some people even here were a little dumbfounded by like why instead of Malik Neighbors. According to them, they had Joe Alt as their number 1 player at that point on the board. So that's what they decided to do. Games aren't played in April. And they were asked again about the receiver position. They're like, hey, what happened? Like, why did you guys go with him and not a receiver? And then Jim's like, well, Dan's going to change his tune on this one. He's like, I think you guys are not thinking, we have faith in Quentin Johnson. We have faith in Josh Palmer. We have faith in the other receivers. And Jim said, we're not done yet. Like, there's a whole other draft left. And if you notice, Gilbert, receivers are kind of dropping right now. There's only been 3 taken so far.
I haven't seen Brian Thomas taken. I haven't seen the 2 Texas kids either taken. So
none of them have been taken. Oh, by the way, did you see the weirdo story about the other kid from Michigan,
Adonis Creed?
No. What's his name? The other, not the Xavier Worthy, the other guy. Supposedly they were saying that he has diabetes type 1 and that he doesn't control it. Or he's not really like all the way, so
like focused. Oh, damn.
Well, no, like he doesn't pay attention.
He doesn't take care of it.
Yeah. So it's like I told you guys, it's weirdo times. But I'm just saying, I'm just being completely honest. You guys have not won, like the Chargers have not won anything in 60 years. You now have a head coach who's coming in and who's changing you guys hated the status quo. You guys hated everything that Tom Telesco did. You guys hated all that stuff. Well, this is what you're going to take. You got to take the good with the bad. This is what's going to happen. That's plain and simple. That's it. This is what happened. This is what Jim Harbaugh and the team decided. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm going to curse. You guys are fucking rock stars. 2 hours and 23 minutes, and you guys have been on here the whole time.
I'll try to get out of here. You want to take over? You want to tag you in?
No. I got to go eat.
All right.
I'm tired.
All right. Let's get out of here then. All
I'm
right.
tired
Hey,
of
but
dealing with the.
Thank you for the credit there, Fernando.
No, you guys are rock stars for that. Like being here that long, JC. You know you're just copying what the dipshit up top ahead
I
of
was
your
about to say,
comment is what
I've had
he
to deal
said.
with these two dumbasses for like an hour,
God.
dude, for like 40 minutes.
Hey,
Hey,
they-
much
Hey,
love.
shout out
faster
to
with
everybody
that.
on the
Yeah,
comments.
okay.
Honestly,
it went by
Yeah,
faster
much
with them in there. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
much love to everybody. Dude, okay, swear to God, I did not know that you guys were still on. Like right now, I logged
Oh,
into
yeah.
StreamYard real quick. I saw you guys because
Yeah.
Daniel wasn't returning my text, so I was like, I
Well,
wonder where he's at.
Honestly, the
And I saw
first
you guys were
12
still
picks
on.
went by fast. We're like, F it, we'll stick around for the Rams, and then it got a little slower after that, but whatever. But I got to get going. Honestly, thank you guys. Thank you for the 199 Airborne for
Shout out.
Messi's World Cup. Thank
Like a
you. Well,
scumbag.
you couldn't
Look at
make
this
it
starving.
$2, but 199.
Hey,
we'll take
look
it.
what he said. Look what
And
he
after and after YouTube takes the cut, it's gonna be like 78 cents. So we appreciate it. After that,
Hey,
but,
wait, no shots on here or what?
I guess not. But
No.
I got to get going, Fernando. Thank you for coming on again. That you made it. Dan, thank you for the time. I know you hate the draft, but you stuck it out for an extra hour for us. Victor, thank you for helping me out the entire time for 2 hours here. This was fun.
Jesus.
It worked out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody in the chat, go enjoy it. Go enjoy the pick, Joe, all Charger fans, hopefully, and go easy on my guy Fernando. And hopefully for the Rams fans, they like the Jared Verse pick. We're gonna be on a House of Horns.
Like in the comments that they liked it.
Definitely let us know more in the comments. You're watching the replay, let us know. But we'll be back on in maybe 90 minutes, Victor, to have a little more deep dive on Jared Verse. But on that note, also one more thing, subscribe to the Compas on the Beat newsletter. Go to compasonthebeat.com, promo right there. Check out everything we're doing here on the program. Compas on the Beat, What's Up Boats, Combat Compas, House of Horns. We're doing it all here. We're getting bigger. We're going. Almost 6,000 subscribers here on the channel. I can't believe 2024 has been this well for us. So I love it. Let's get the hell out of here. Fernando, get out of the closet. Go do some work. You've been busting your ass already. Just kidding.
What are you talking about?
No kitty.
My brother looks like a saint with the light over his head.
Okay, it took me a while to get it. Well, get out of the studio because you got work to do. There you go. No diddy. Telecompa. Dan, Victor, Fernando, I love you guys. Thank you. But on that note, nos vamos. Pues, vámonos.
Shout out to all you.